Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Realm of Shade, the House of Lament. I don't have anything particular to say that I can remember at the start of this one, so I think we'll go right into recap. So, when we last... And everyone died. Brendan's counter goes up by 1.
Good.
Okay. When we last left off in the House of Lament, the travelers had decided to leave Bilestone behind with the investigators as they went up to the roof to look for the Witch's Stone. Reaching the 3rd floor, they discovered a few locked doors as, within the nursery, there was a seal with a kite shield and sword on it. Unable to bypass it, they went to the room belonging to servants as Ulrich picked the door. Finding a diary in the maid, Agatha's room, Ulrich and Karen read through it as it described the events that befell the woman on the fateful night that the residents vanished. The only traces remaining of her were a lone bag of holding in the corner of the room, as nail marks led directly towards it. Entering the butler Victro's room, the travelers soon discovered the ghost of the giant, as he stepped through the wall when they approached his lockbox. After a tense conversation concerning their trespassing, the butler's ghost was quickly distracted by the destruction of a barrel of wine in the basement, as he temporarily left the travelers behind. During that time, they ransacked the lockbox, as Ulrich found an amulet belonging to the cult of Asylum. Pocketing it, the travelers rushed out of the room upstairs, as the ghost could be heard stomping from below. On the roof, Brennan was attached to a cord of rope, and she was lowered down onto the jutting off the side of the roof. Finding a candle underneath it, Brennan lit it, as the travelers had accomplished their task. Heading back downstairs to the 2nd floor, they ended up seeing an injured man in a yellow parka limping away towards the foyer. Recognizing him to be one of his colleagues, Boris rushed forward as he called out to the man. However, as he, among a few others, ran out to help him, Brian saw a tendril of hands slithering quickly across the floor towards him. Hanging back, the shadowy hands shot up all around the hallway as they grasped onto the man, latching into him. Among those who ran out to help him, panicking, the travelers tried in vain to cut down the hands, as no matter what they seemed to do, they kept taking the brunt of their force. Before long, the man was pulled down into the shadows, as they stood in shock, before witnessing both Cloud and Brennan being dragged down along with him shortly after. Before Ulrich was the next to be taken, Karen let out a wave of psychic energy, as the hands crumbled to dust before them, falling to pieces as they vanished. And with that, and 2 less party members.
Oh, God.
What do you all do? As I switch us over.
Karen is going to walk over to where the shadowy figure was, and particularly to pretty much like wherever Brennan was.
Probably over there.
I'm catching my breath.
And she is going to start.
Nice.
I am completely fine now. Nothing happened.
And she's going to start
besides just the crippling.
She's going to start stamping at the floor, just looking down at it quietly.
You're stamping down on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
What are you expecting to happen?
Internally, she's not expecting anything to happen. She's expecting there to, or she's wanting there to be a hole there or something that can be followed up on.
That's what I'm saying. Are you stomping with like some anger or like in curiosity?
You weren't saying anything.
I'm sorry. I broke out.
I did hear him start.
She is just stepping kind of almost absent-mindedly.
Okay.
As you're stomping on the ground, absent-mindedly trying to see if there's any sort of hole that Brennan could have been dragged through, your feet hit the solid wood floor time and time again, as it does not give way, nearly creaking if you hit any loose floorboards.
Well, they went down. Now the question I'm looking directly at Karen for this. Do we go after them immediately? Or do we take a minute or a while and just hope they're okay?
We should tell Theodora that we lit the candle.
Okay.
It's going to start walking
If she
downstairs.
trusts us, she might have a good idea of where they went
When she walks
anyway.
by, I'll actually put a hand on her shoulder. They're not gone. Okay, we will find them. We will find her. And then I'll pat her shoulder, and then just let her go.
She'll just keep walking on without all this time looking at you. And she'll go back downstairs.
Well, my friend might be dead, but that's how it is.
Right? You're heading back to the parlor, yes?
Yeah.
Background.
Sorry.
Okay. We will get all of you dragged over. Alright. You going through the stairs leading to the first floor, down to the parlor. You make your way into it through the foyer. As you see the two detectives, once again, seeming to be at work at something, as they look up at you. Looks like you all made it back again. Did you manage to light the... Where are the other two?
Do you want the long or the
They end up looking at each other. Give us the long version.
Okay. Well, we made it to the top floor, and then the top floor being the roof. We lit the candle. Lit a couple of candles actually, so that should definitely be enough. And on our way back down, we ran into one companion running away from, and we found what? Just a bundle, a group, a murder of
quiet.
shadow hands.
Oh.
And
You said you saw a companion?
a companion of mine, yes. The group I said I came here for. The ones wearing the yellow parkas.
Huh. I can't imagine anyone who had been here for very long.
I think he might be experiencing things at a different time than us. He may not
Okay.
be experiencing anything anymore by how that went down. He was violently dragged down where they were less pierced through while being dragged down, so I think they're still okay. I don't think this house has had enough with them.
Okay.
But we couldn't break them free by the time they got dragged.
Okay. Wow, okay.
Yeah, not exactly fun.
You haven't looked for them yet, have you?
No.
It just happened.
Do you know where they might have ended up?
My gut's telling me basement.
Well, we lit the candles, so the lady should trust
Inform us.
maybe.
Okay,
Maybe she
yeah,
knows.
I can go ahead and prepare another seance if you want. And we can ask her. Arthur, come on. And they begin setting up the entire arrangements around the table once more. As they go, alright, everyone around.
Bah.
Vaguely chair positioned.
Just move Brian like
Or
up here.
it's just doing the horse stance. The whole thing where it's like it looks like you're sitting, but you're just using your legs.
Okay. As you are all around the table, once again, class hands, Alanik begins the seance once more. Spirits, Theodore Halvers, we beseech you once more to please answer our call. As I imagine one of you hands over the amulet once again, if you hadn't left it.
Mhm.
That would have been Boris, I believe?
Yeah, you had it on your weapon.
Yep. It's probably right now actually wrapped around my arm.
Okay. That works perfectly fine then. As you... Yes?
And just imagine knuckle dusters, but they're holy symbols is kind of a fun idea.
Holy
in my
knuckle
head.
dusters.
Holy knuckle dusters. Very intriguing. As you hear... As a swirl of mist forms in the middle of the table, and springing up, slowly forming out of the middle of it, is once again the ghost of Theodore Halvris. It's good to see you again. I imagine you completed the task.
Yeah.
We presume the right
we did.
candle's lit.
Yes, I can tell. The chimneys are all going. You see, the fireplace actually behind you all is ignited. If it hadn't been before, is now.
What did that do?
Lighting the witchstone?
Hmm.
Nothing much. A simple bit of superstition, I suppose, on my part. It was less about what it did and more your willingness to do it. You want information?
Being made of shadows, a bunch of hands. They took two of our friends.
She seems to close her eyes and scrunch her face a little bit. The dark spirits.
We presume we destroyed it, but our friends are nowhere to be found.
Your presumptions are unfortunately very wrong. They cannot be destroyed. Only delayed.
Fuck.
I do not know where they may have ended up. The dark spirits are malevolent in nature. As I mentioned before, they are the most frightening thing in this house. Even creatures such as the chimney witch, the leaper, and others are afraid of their presence. Victoria, wherever his soul may be, Agatha. All of them and everything else cowers before them. I know that the dark shadows may not always kill those they latch their claws into. The last people, two men in yellow parkas, were ripped to shreds when they had been captured last time. They never reemerged. However, there are some who find themselves dragged into a very dark place. Somewhere that even I can't see. Despite this being my house. I don't know what happens to them there then, but if they're lucky, they reemerge. However, maybe being lucky is a curse in that case, based on how they appear. I don't know what happens to them, but I know something terrible rips into their soul when they do. Almost as if toying with them, playing with them, and then letting them go like a cat with a mouse, before it eventually hunts it down, pounces, and gobbles it up. If they are lucky, they may reemerge at some point somewhere within the house. However, where is entirely dependent upon how lucky they may be, and how long it might take. But most likely they are only being kept alive momentarily, until the next time. When they eventually are gobbled up by the house cat. That's all I can tell you about the dark spirits. I know that wherever they are, that dreadful woman is not very far behind. I feel as if they somehow connected to her, wherever she goes, wherever she may not wish to go entirely physically. They appear. If they're out at this point, it means that you are getting drastically close to the end, to the final bell. And as she says that, you once again hear upstairs a bell chiming. Strikes a few more times. You're at the 11th hour. I fear what happens when it strikes the 12th. The house awakens at that point, in full force. All right, you want to know how to open the door, right?
Yeah.
When I trapped myself in that room, I prayed to the goddess Ezra to protect my children. They were inside their bedroom. Through some miracle, thank the gods, thank the miss. They are safe and protected and healthy, as she conjures up in the air before her a vision of this room, a sort of children's room, as there appears to be floating in the middle of it a spectral image of a dragon and knight toy. These are the souls of my children. Perfectly, well, perhaps maybe a little bit lonely without mommy. Safe in the room. The seal's the only thing protecting them. There are things in the house that want to feast upon them, their souls. I need them to be out of here. The seal, I believe in the goddess that it would last for years to come, but this is no place for us to be. I need you to break the seal. You need to complete the symbol. The symbol is the goddess Ezra. You might have noticed it when you touched the door and saw the kite shield and sword appear, but no sprig of belladonna. In my conservatory, there is the belladonna that I grow. Bring it to there, and the door will become unlocked, and you may enter. But I'm afraid that if you do so, the house may immediately awaken and try to devour you all with my children. I know that you have others that you need to search for. Please, whatever you need to do, whatever you need to accomplish here, do so before, but please do not abandon us.
What do we say for your children?
What?
Sorry, what do we say for your children to trust us?
Tell them Theodora, their mother, Theodora Halvers. Tell them their mother sent you.
Okay. I'm just making sure, because this house has played tricks on all of us.
I think the fact that you would be able to get in, as long as you don't bring them
Right.
danger, should be enough.
Okay. And for you?
When you retrieve them... Yes, you were saying, sorry?
We'll get them out. And for you?
The fact that they're out is enough for me.
Okay.
The fuck?
When you break that seal, please get them and get as far away from the house as possible. As she's saying that, you hear a rumbling throughout the house as she flickers, seizes up, and you hear a screaming. As the ghost of Theodore vanishes before you, and the candles flicker before turning off, for being blown out. And you see the planchette before you glow in a blue light. As Alan echoes, Arthur, what is happening? I don't know. Something's interfering. You all feel a wince of pain through you, a very cold shiver, as the planchette rapidly moves around the board. Leaving so soon.
Uh-oh.
Does the holy symbol in my hand feel any different? I imagine
The
I
holy
was
symbol-
just holding on it.
Appears to be heavy in your hand. Any doors around you that were currently open close as you hear a click.
Who are
What
you
is your
then?
response? The planchette moves as you hear a disembodied voice in all your heads. Come now. You seriously don't remember? We talked before.
Yes, but is that your true name? Or were you lying?
What does that matter? True name or not? We still had a deal to make, didn't we? I take offense to being jumped over and ignored. Especially when the only way you can get out is with my help.
We're finishing smaller tasks. It's nothing crazy.
Time is ticking. As you said, we are in the 11th hour, are we not?
Okay. Then what in this 11th hour is your request?
The same thing that has always been. I help you, as I had. You help free us. I'm sorry, maybe I've come off a little bit too strong. Like I said, I take great offense to being jumped over for a smaller fish.
Well, you don't finish your main meal first. Now,
You don't go to dessert before you finish your main meal, now do you?
no, I do. What do you want us to do?
Gather your little friends. Find them. And then come to the stairway after you finish your task for the woman. I will be there. You will find a pickaxe and shovel. Once the house has finished awakening, dig me out of the stairwell wall, the tower's wall, and I will help you. Because if you don't, you cannot escape. Miss Theodore Halvers believes that you are able to just leave the house. But I can tell you for now that Mara would not allow that. You think she would allow anyone to just leave like that? After all, you're her guest in this entire debacle and event.
You can blame her to believe in her faith, but I understand. Finish what we have. Make it to the bottom of the stairs. Pickaxe and shovel.
Yes.
Are we finding
And if you
them, or
do
will they
that,
be there?
they'll be there waiting.
Good.
And when you do that, I will help you get out of here. Because I am the only one, other than Mara, that is capable of releasing you from this prison.
I want an insight, but I don't have a face to insight. I only have a voice.
I mean, you can insight a
You
voice.
can incite the voice. You are completely and
Tone
perfectly
check.
allowed to do that.
I will do so. Ha! That's a 3.
Anyone who wishes to insight may insight.
Alright.
I might as well.
I want to.
Nearly ready.
Also a 3.
Unfortunately.
Guys!
Nah, but I imagine he's not even at a full conversation.
No, the worse you guys
He can
do
fail.
here, the better you're gonna do tomorrow. Come on!
But it counts for you too.
You believe that this man...
Oh, shit, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. You believe that this man, this disembodied voice, is telling you that the only way out is either through that woman or through him.
Okay. Now I have a question for you.
It's
You
free.
gave us that axe. Did you know it was cursed?
I had suspicions, but I never really thought that the woman would do such a thing. Desecrate such a weapon.
How she
I'll tell you
desecrated?
what.
I think it's referring to
By
Sarah.
being. And it seems that she has a particular eye on one of you, I might say. Someone that if she can't take all of you down with her, she will intend to keep them. Which one that is? Well, I suppose we will find out once we meet.
Is there anything else you need of us? Any clues or hint? Any idea where our companions are?
I have no idea where the Dark Hands take her. The Dark Spirits take people. They may show up in a closet, on a noose. They may be in the basement, as you had previously witnessed. They may even end up on the roof, dangling off the tower's edge. So, sorry about that. They may.
Oh, I thought.
Nah,
I thought
it's-
my
someone came
connection-
in, someone came in.
I thought my connection cut out.
No. They may be below. Was she... Well, that would ruin the surprise now, wouldn't it? The point is, they could be anywhere within this house. Anywhere and everywhere. If the hands so choose to spit them out. As for what I desire, only to know where that detestable woman is, so I may end her pathetic afterlife. So I say, keep doing what you're doing. Keep investigating, searching. And when you find her, and you will find her, if you haven't already, if you haven't been telling me something, I will know. I will know. And when I do, well, we'll leave that surprise for when it happens. As for you, I'll give you one piece of advice. As a bit of a parting gift. Because I'm generous. Sleep with one eye open tonight. And when the shadows eventually beckon, you will have your answers, as long as you search for them. And search you will. Because your lives will depend upon it when you eventually have to run. With that, the light fades slowly from the board as all the candles reignite within the room. The holy symbol's presence in your hands loosens as the air in the room becomes clear once again. Nick, are you alright? Yeah. How's everyone?
Hey, okay.
Well,
You can almost hear her.
it could be worse.
Leans back, or just leans back in his chair and sighs.
That's kind of a dick.
Yeah, but almost anything here will be. He's upset that we didn't come back and talk to him.
Upset is a kind word.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely livid is more like it.
So we need to go to the place where Brian got stabbed in the back with a bunch of shovels.
Mm-hmm. But also, you need to definitely find your sister and Cloud.
The only place we haven't checked has been the basement.
Well, it doesn't mean they aren't in a place that we have checked before.
True. There's also behind that door. It would probably be too convenient if they ended up behind it.
Yeah.
From what it sounds like, that place is protected, so I don't think, at least
They would
according to
get
Theodora, I don't think they would be able to be put in there
Yeah.
unless you opened it and broke the seal.
No, I'm gonna be a bummer about this. Do we rest? Because they said, everyone said it's gonna take some time before they even appear again. Do we rest? So we're
Well.
in better shape, but they probably won't be. Again, I'm looking over at Karen at this point. Or do we tough it out and just do what we can now, hoping they show up?
By the way things seem to work, the hours only pass when we hit certain triggers.
Yeah.
So it's not really a matter of time. Or it shouldn't be anyway. I had a little bit more rest than I probably could have done more in that fight. I'm not gonna make that mistake again.
Okay. I know it's gonna sound bad, but and we're gonna probably have to rest closer to each other.
Especially after that ominous warning of his.
No, of course. Wait, you heard that? I thought you couldn't hear anything.
I wasn't completely taken over in that instance. It seemed to be a general thing that happened this time.
Oh, probably
But
because he
it
wasn't the
hurt
first.
like shit.
Oh, also, you two get ready to move. Everything's gonna go bad.
I highly doubt you're exempt from what might happen.
Of course not.
Hmm. Well, let's hope the room's wards keep up.
Well, and that's the whole thing. You all have to get ready to book
Yeah.
it to the however we're gonna to get out.
Yeah. Whenever you guys, I imagine when this house awakens, it'll be very obvious, hopefully. If it hasn't been obvious now when anything's occurred here.
Oh, I'm expecting a door to eat a person.
Great. Maybe we should just leave all doors open at this point.
No, because then something can see you.
But then you can see something.
Okay.
Alright. Well, if you're all resting,
Yeah.
I suppose I should hand out your payment now.
I am surprised you're a man walking around with
With what?
this much money on you.
20 GP is a small expenditure when it comes to this.
You paid
You've
us
honestly been-
120 just yesterday.
No, he paid you 20, split between 6 people.
Oh, 20 split. I thought it was 20 each. I'm stupid. Sorry.
120 split between 6.
Yeah.
For 20 GP as according to the contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a person just walking around with almost 300 GP is a little big, little rich man.
Well, after all, I am earning royalties off of a few of Arthur's books he's decided to write about me.
Oh, that explains it. Okay.
Other than, well, other than being the, well, I suppose no longer a heir, considering your father's dead at this point, but an heir to a quite wealthy financial businessman. Yeah, something like that. Try not to keep my hands on that, though. Dirty money isn't really my business.
Okay.
At this
What's
point,
wrong with
Karen's
business?
just fiddling with the handle of the briefcase.
Well, we all should get somewhat comfortable. Now our decisions. We could either all stay around this table so we're inside of each other, or we can go into more comfortable spaces. Kind of varies on if you can sleep sitting.
The rest of the days
Nick
that are
chuckles
laying
to
down.
himself.
Oh, I've learned the sleep sitting.
Well, yes, but generally not as restful.
You just gotta get used to it as he's like sliding slightly in the chair.
The question is, do you remove your armor tonight?
I'm
How many hit dice have you used? You
Oh,
get
no.
fourth back if you're with armor.
about to say,
Okay.
I used none because we also never short rest. Oh, we did. I just was full health at the time, so yeah, no, I haven't even. See, it's all planned. It's all worked out.
We'll go ahead and get... where'd it go? Get this. I'll give this to everyone. When the others appear, they'll have it, but for now, we're just gonna send the 120 to the party sheet for you guys.
Uh-huh.
Schwa. Money. Places 40 on the
Brennan and
table, it just
Cloud,
kind of
your pocket
disappears.
feels heavier for some reason.
Your pocket feels heavier. Money acquired. Ka-ching. Okay. Everyone taking a long rest then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Karen is likely just going to be in a corner behind her briefcase.
Gotcha.
I'll sit beside her, mostly because, like I said, no one fully sleeps by themselves
Understood.
tonight.
Would anyone like to use any resources that they have on hand before long resting? I don't know if you got anything. You already used your second wind, so you're good.
I'd like to use my second win.
Wow.
That sucks. You neither have a second wind, nor are you resting right now.
Exactly.
I'd like to.
Yeah, hopefully Cloud and Brennan weren't too depleted.
I'd like to cast Produce Flame 100 times, and just burn the place down.
Man, I don't know if you're long resting at that point.
Like the Witch wanted.
Hey, 100 times is only well, I mean, everyone casts 6 seconds, so 600 seconds. So, you know, that amount of time.
That's quite the amount of time.
10 minutes.
Okay. Let me go ahead and... we're going to make this simple. We're going to
I have 11
long rest all of you for now.
Ta-da.
Or else
And then
able
I'm
to
just gonna
right-click our
damn
sheets and long
Brennan.
rest us.
I'm going to actually long rest all of you for now. Make this simple on myself.
I will be right back real quick. Just gotta make sure that Benji didn't do anything on the floor because he left me for a little bit.
I see. Understood.
Heck the boy.
As we are going to go... where is that? This one. Okay. You're all resting around the table then? You're saying? Or no, Boris was resting in the chair. Orich and Brian, where are you resting?
On the floor. Laura's gonna sleep laying down.
Feel free to put yourself somewhere for me.
I guess
know,
what, Karen?
wherever Karen
Go
was, I think she said she was going to be in like the corner. Boris would be next to
I'm
her.
putting her right here for now. You're gonna be next to her over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boris will
Even
just-
if it's in a
not-
chair or not, it makes no difference.
Zombie, where are you
Laura will
sleeping?
be like right here.
Zombie? Mute boy? Oh my, they were rat-tat-tat back there. Zombie, are you currently here?
Call into a zombie.
All into a zombie, Earth's a zombie.
Are you muted?
He is muted. I'll do this.
Did he double
Awake,
mute
alive
himself?
zombie, preferably both. Alright, I'll say he's like somewhere over here for now until he gets back. In which case... Oh my map is not wanting to do stuff. There we go.
Well,
While I wait
yeah.
for either Zombie or Shay to get back, I will... what were you gonna do?
I was gonna say, like, just in the, I guess, like, before falling asleep or whatever, Ulrich wants to, like, get a better look at the amulet that he took out of the butler's lockbox,
Okay,
since he
yeah.
kind of had to, like, a quick look at it.
Yeah, let me see if I have a description of it.
I have, like, general, the way it looks, the skull with a skeletal Ouroboros around it.
Yeah. Yeah, you do see... Let me see if I can find a proper image of it.
Hello, I've returned.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay, you take out the amulet. You see a fairly tall one. You imagine because of the man that you got it from.
Mm-hmm.
It is a skull with like a snake eating its own tail surrounding it. Kind of appearance on the amulet.
Ouroboros.
Let's see. Yeah, like an Ouroboros.
I can't believe Boris has been oroed.
He has been Oroed of the Boris. Yeah. So this is an amulet of a Cybos. Feel free to give me a history check if you want to know about them.
Is anyone allowed?
This is particularly an Ulrich
Okay,
thing
that's fine.
right now.
I
If
just
you're like
wanted to make
looking over at it, if you are looking over at it, you can attempt.
Okay. Let's say he's right in front of me, so I'll just passively.
Freaking hell, guys.
Great, this is when I roll the 20.
Yeah.
For some
yeah.
reason, Boris is well learned in.
I'm gonna say Karen can't do this if she attempts because she wouldn't know this.
She's
well learned in
not paying
action.
attention.
Never mind, that makes total sense.
Understood. Yeah, both of you definitely get this. Both of you know this cult. Let me get this entry open to just refresh myself about them. Cybus. Over here. Both of you know this cult to be a necromancer type cult. They're not properly the type of individuals who would just straight up raise skeletons and zombies and such. They're a different flavor of necromancers, as they end up using the souls of other people they steal to fuel their malevolent magic. Of course, they have their own priests and system. Using the souls they steal, they also mark themselves with tattoos dedicated to the god. That, upon dying, is said to resurrect them with a gift from their god. Both you, with your checks, would know that the priests of Cybus are said to have originated from a sect of believers dedicating themselves to the Count Strahd von Zarovich and his immortality, attempting to use his power for their own ends, as a sort of worshipping him as a form of a god. As you've heard, something about a lord of a domain or something. But you know that while they originally seek Strahd's power to gain immortality and for some other purposes beyond your knowing, there are some of them that have branched out into different sects and areas of the world other than just Barovia. While places such as Mordant wouldn't have as many of them there, they are still a present force. You would imagine places like Demilechu might have quite a bit of the priests from what you've heard before. You also believe that you remember they were affected by some sort of curse that they seem to be trying to get rid of, but you don't know the nature of it entirely.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense why Boris would know all this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a cult. It's cultic.
That sure is. He'll like glance at you, like realizing that you've been paying attention to him. And he'll slide it back in a pocket.
I don't care what you do with your passing. That is it's not fun.
I'm not part of it.
Oh, good. Anything connected to that man is never good.
No. I got it out of Victoria's lockbox.
Okay.
This one.
That ain't good. I mean, it could be fine, but
I don't think anyone could. I don't think I trust anyone really
that's fair.
who comes from it.
Yeah.
You aren't a casual believer in something like that.
Oh, once you lived them, you definitely don't want to be.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna split the night in the fourths and take an order.
How are we doing this, by the way, without the other two? For watch order. We're doing it one person each shift then?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I only need to sleep
Probably.
half as much.
That's true. I
The
forgot.
final two.
What shifts are you taking then?
I think I'll take the final two like last time.
Okay. So someone will have to take 3 with you, and then the other 2 will take their own.
Unless someone doesn't trust themselves by themselves in 1 or 2.
Oh, yeah, we never determined what shift Brian was taking. I guess I'll just have him... Zombie, are you here? If not, I'll just put him on Brendan's shift for now.
That makes sense.
I feel like Brian was 0 because he would sleep through the night.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Brian did sleep through the night, didn't he, before?
Damn it.
I don't know if Brian will... I don't know. I'm gonna keep him on 0 for now, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did Karen have a preference?
She was first before.
She was 1 right now. You guys are missing a 2 at the moment.
Ulrich will be 2 then.
You'll be 2? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's Karen, Ulrich, and then Boris can take 3 and 4. Gotcha.
Yep, that works.
All right. In which case, as the night passes, you all sort of in your areas. Karen, your shift goes by. Feel free to give me a perception check.
No. Okay.
I think Zombie's back, by the way.
She's not really
Zombie
going
back?
to be...
Well, you replied yes, yes, yes.
She's not really going to be looking, per se. So she's probably just going to mostly be listening in.
Okay. Zombie, were you on any particular shift, by the way? Are you able to speak right now?
What, sleeping shift?
Yeah, sleeping shift. Right now you're set to 0. Because you're down to 4 people. We have Karen on 1, Ulrich on 2, Boris on 3 and 4. Because he can do 2. Do you want to
He
be
can
on
do
any of
2.
those? You want to be 2?
Well, no, I mean, if he can do 2,
You're just gonna sleep?
I'm just gonna sleep.
Okay, cool.
we
Good to
knew
know.
that,
I
but
can't
we
even-
wanted the double
I
check.
can't even see in the dark anyway, guys.
You guys like have candles probably going.
There's a fireplace going now. Let's do some
The fireplace is
Listen.
going.
Listen, I'm very stressed. I need a nap.
Yeah,
That's
you've
fair.
got a
That's
lot
fair.
of.
That's fair.
I presume the,
Like I
the
said,
two
we were
investigators would
expecting it.
also
We were just making sure.
take up a watch.
They probably take up
yeah.
they take up a watch.
At least with somebody else.
Yeah.
If she's only listening in, can I benefit from the hearing advantage?
Hearing? Yeah, go ahead.
That is 16. Oh no, sorry, 15, because I get a -1, meaning my perception is
You needed that.
a +0.
Uh,
Whoa.
you not taking a look out of any of the doors or anything because they're currently closed, and listening in, you hear the sounds.
The ghost
appealing.
of your sister.
You hear the sounds of pealing thunder in the distance, as it seems to be crackling. A bit every once in a while, not as intensely as before. However, you sense that there is something brewing above, something waiting, as if waiting to awake from a slumber. You do not hear anything but the sounds of rain pattering against the outside. Until
You also just don't hear Boris. You know he's there, but you just don't hear him. He makes no
in
noise.
fact, while you are sleeping, you realize that the man sleeping next to you isn't really making any noise, like not even the sound of breathing, you think. You can hear most of the others breathing at this point in time, but it appears to be quite silent where Boris is. As you almost feel that you hear a creak from one of the floorboards outside the room.
She's gonna leave that well enough alone.
As you spend the rest of your shift without much happening. Just a sensation that something is waiting.
Beautiful spell slots.
Spell slots.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Caressing.
Ulrich, feel free to give me a perception check.
Perceive, my boy.
Whoa. I
He
said
almost-
Same thing. You
hysteria.
notice Boris is breathing.
Probably something along that lines. If you're paying attention, you don't notice Boris breathing as well. Besides that, though, similar to Karen, you get a charged feeling in the air. The lightning seems to be peeling. As you kind of get more of a presence of it than Karen did. As if there's something lingering nearby, waiting. It's not just something slumbering sort of feeling, something waiting to awaken. But you get the sense that there's something actively pursuing in this house. You don't know where, but you get the sense that somewhere in the darkness, somewhere where the light doesn't quite touch within the room, under the shadow of the doors, something slither, creep, crawl, just ever so slightly out of your vision, as if biding its time and waiting.
Ugh, body shudder. Just uncomfortable watch tonight.
As your watch goes by, without much more than that feeling of being watched.
Maybe sits a little closer to the firelight.
Right over here. There. Boris. As you awake, what's your passive perception?
It's like a
An
11?
11?
Yeah.
11. Feel free to give me a perception check, as this passive will be a little bit delayed.
It's going to be 10 because you have a stress score.
That is correct.
I'm counting. It counts the.
The
It
same.
is 10. Right. For some reason, I thought the passive would.
Yeah, the modifiers don't
Doesn't
change
seem to
your-
count.
Don't change your passive on this on the thing.
It's going to be the same
because
roll in the
everything
end.
else did.
Boris, as you wake up, you feel a bit groggy wearing your armor. It feels a bit like how you were maybe one of the times in the forest where you had to be extra cautious of your surroundings, otherwise your throat might have been ripped out by a wolf.
Actually,
or a
using
ghoul.
that, could I actually use knowledge from past life?
You could?
Did you still have any of those left before starting the long rest?
No,
right.
he did
Then no.
not. He
You're
didn't.
right. I forgot. Well, I did just technically finish my long rest, didn't I?
You finish it after everyone's shifts goes by.
Got it. Then no, I wouldn't.
Your long rest still
For
lasts
the-
the same amount of
The
time.
full, even if
Yeah.
you're right, because I don't have to sleep it, but
Yeah.
For the sake of ease on me for something, I'm long resting you now.
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
But never mind, I wouldn't have any. So
Yeah, you feel groggy, tired in your armor, such as like one of the previous times where you had to protect yourselves, either from getting your throat ripped out by wolves or, in more dire circumstances, ghouls. As you kind of stretch your bones aching, you take a look around the room.
Are they watching South Park back there?
yeah, someone is
Sounds
sorry.
like it.
I keep trying to pause, but ugh.
You take a look around the room, and you notice something. First off, you don't see Ulrich by his chair, which you remember him sitting in next. Last time, as you take a look across the room, do a sweep, you consider for a moment that he might have moved. Maybe you heard something, but as you look around the room for Ulrich, there is no Ulrich in the room. As you kind of
Again.
tap onto the side of you, you do find Karen to be there, but you also see that there is no Brian in the room either.
Do I see the two? I'm probably
You
sharing a
do-
shift with one of them.
Under the assumptions I was working with that they were having a shift with Karen and Ulrich during that time.
Oh, okay, then never mind. Well, they'd still be there. So.
They
Question still
are.
answered.
Alnick is still in his wheelchair sleeping. Arthur seems to be by the table sleeping, as you can see
Okay.
under it.
Thought so. They covered fucking everything but house. Doesn't seem much about it.
As you get the sense that there was. You're not sure, but it feels as if the room has grown lighter somehow. Whatever dark shadows might have once been in here is gone. As I'm gonna go off to the side for a moment as you are looking at the situation. Ulrich and Brian, as you're sleeping, in your dreams, your eyes are closed. You see kind of black. The absence of color, nothing. As you kind of squint your eyes a little bit, and you see a red light, kind of a bright red light in your vision. As you feel the wind blowing on your face. You hear the murmuring of a crowd around you. And as you focus your eyes, see the light in front of you, notice the clouds in the sky are hanging low as they appear to be overcast. Then rays of sunlight peek through the light gray haze behind. The earth is damp, and puddles of water seem to soak into the tall muddy grass as moisture circulates into the air. As you find yourself standing in the middle of a road, a single thought enters your head. Today is going to be a good day. Taking a look around, you notice the horse-drawn carriages as they pass you by on the road ahead. Elegantly dressed coachmen hold onto the horses' reins as they usher them onwards. And as the carriages seem to pass, they possess a distinct hint of luxuriousness to them, as they are painted brown and onyx. What are your immediate reactions?
It's kind of like rubbing eyes, sort of like trying to tell if he is like, is this a dream? Am I awake? Looking around for anything that especially stands out.
Gotcha. Zombie, what is Brian's immediate reaction? Zombie, are you muted?
No. I'll be right back.
Understood.
I'll also be right back.
Understood. What is Brian's immediate reaction, Zombie?
Well, considering that I don't have an immediate reaction, because I zoned out. I mean, Brian wasn't paying attention.
I see.
I'm sorry.
Effectively, Brian was zoning out, and then he noticed himself standing in the middle of a road, surrounded by like horse-drawn carriages passing him by, like really luxurious horse-drawn carriages. You were standing in the middle of the road.
Okay, good. I still have 2 stress.
Yes? Are you like trying to look
Thinking.
around? Okay. Well, I'll let you know right now, as Brian is thinking of what to do, Zombie. You do notice the horses coming up from behind, as I need both of you to kind of make me an acrobatics check, if you could.
Okay. Again, O'Brien was staring at the wheels of the carriages.
Okay.
That was the most important thing for him at that particular moment. And
Understood. I see. Orich will get this one. Orich, as the horses trot along, you feel that you're almost trampled underfoot as you take a step out of the way, kind of examining the entire situation. You see one almost go right past where you were standing. Brian, however, as you are staring at the wheels of one of the carriages, you are
imagining
confused.
my body underneath the wheels.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, honey.
Very good. You're on excitement then right now. Confused and lost amidst the jumble of stallions, you take a step backwards to excuse yourself from the situation of imagining yourself being under one of the wheels, as you are suddenly met with a loud neighing. Time freezes around you as you quickly take a glance off to the side. There, resting at head level before you, are the race hoofs of a chestnut horse. Behind it, leaning slightly off to the side, is a coachman, as his mouth appears to be distorted, twisting into a wide expression. Can you give me an intelligence check? Cheesecake? At a time in this place, really? What could he possibly need cheesecake for? I'm certain that even if his options were limited, there's still better bakeries around than you and your weak old cupcakes, as I'm going to need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. With a -2 penalty.
So that's a 9.
Okay. Brian, stars swim in your eyes as you are bodied by the 1,000-pound stallion. Like a road bump, you are trampled over, much like in your mind, how you're imagining it. However, as the axles are thrown over your head, they bounce past your nose as you are miraculously saved from a disastrous crash. You are, however, lying crumpled on the floor, aching, bruised, and splattered in mud. As you take 8 damage.
Ooh, ow.
As the mud is turned before both of you, you find yourselves on the road with a group of nobly dressed men. They appear to be rich socialites as they converse amongst themselves. However, their fashion seems to be quite old, as some of them are wearing powdered wigs and blush. Examining the crowd of men before you all, you notice a familiar face as you recognize one of your fellow misbound travelers. They are, however, dressed in attire completely unsuited for their station, as each one of you appears to be adorned in richly sewn fabrics. Ulrich, you see the poet Brian on the ground before you as he's wearing a double-breasted frock coat with black wingtips, completely covered in mud. And Brian, as you look across the crowd, kind of staring up into the sky for a moment, you see the inquisitive Ulrich in a 3-piece suit with a dark jacket that's just a bit too big for him. It has a pattern resembling funeral flowers. Top of this, he's also wearing a thorn pattern cloak with gloves and a variety of jewelry set with blue gemstones.
Wow, that does not look fucking good on you at all.
Ulrich is like blinks at him and then looks at himself. Then he'll come over and he'll offer a hand to help you out of the mud. Looks better on me than mud looks on you.
That actually is kind of a compliment. I think. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you can take it as one.
I mean, when
Let's-
you
let's
think
get
about
out
it,
of
you're
the-
saying still though that like if I were not covered in mud, I'd be looking better than you. By the law of relativity of objects.
Is that how that works?
I don't know.
Okay, I think maybe the horse got you a bit. Let's get you
Yeah,
out
no,
of the street before the next one finishes
literally
the
ran
job.
me over. I don't. That's what happens when you get hit by a horse.
Mm-hmm.
As you are taking a look around, you do see the men around you conversing. You see a looming castle in the short distance. A black tower can be seen as the shadows disperse over the hills.
Just haul you up on your feet. Wipe away a bit of that mud. Look over it. I guess the tower was like the only thing from the old building, right? In the mansion?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think really my mistake was to not cast Blade Ward before getting trampled.
Fair.
Don't even try to dodge. Just Blade Ward and tank it.
Have you seen any of the others?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
We were in a house, weren't we?
Yeah. Not sure the house is still there in our timeline that we're in now.
What do you wish to do? There is the looming tower. There is also a group of noblemen on the road, seeming to be in a crowd at the moment, stopped off to the side as carriages pass by. You seem to be in a sort of, if you take a look around, you seem to be in some sort of wet marshland, perhaps? As seems to be tall grass with water everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Ulrich will glance at the crowd of noblemen. Hey, Brian. I don't know. You're a published writer and everything, right? You're kind of familiar with talking to people of station, right?
No.
Neither am I. Can I look at Brian, then look at he's just gonna like look between every point of interest and then just kind of sigh.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
give
gonna
him my
go.
autograph.
Good start. Pat
Yeah.
your back.
He starts signing autographs,
Yeah.
and then begins to, and then walks over with a pile of his autograph.
Let's go see what they're up to over there.
You step over to the nobleman.
Yeah.
You see a few of them talking. There seems to be a group of them. One moment. There seems to be a group of the noblemen. A few tall, skinnier men. Some of them in well-tailored clothes, or you can maybe guess is something of a banker wear, maybe an accountant wear, something like that on some of them. One of them seems to be a kind of more robust, bigger man, a bit chunkier man. As he looks over to you, and goes,
He's the first target. Then I'm gonna walk directly up to the biggest guy, and I'm gonna go. It's a pleasure to meet me, I'm sure. And then I will say, I am of course the famous writer, Brian Riley, famous poet. Here's my autograph, just one platinum piece. As I push the piece of paper into his hand and then stick my other hand out.
he takes it for a moment with like a kind of like smile on his face, like open mouth smile as he goes, "Oh, Brian! Yes, I know who you are. That was quite a nasty fall you took back there. I think the horse might have hit you in the head a bit too hard, though, sir. Thank you for the autograph, though. Platinum's a bit much for it, don't you think? About five gold pieces.
It's going to be worth more than that in the future, though. It's an investment in your future.
Right, Brian Riley. I understand. He fishes in his pocket and gives you a bit of a dozen gold pieces for the suit. We'll say an investment in your future dry cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's good to see you gentlemen here. On the road, that was quite a nasty fall you did take there. It's good to see you, young Master Ulrich.
Oh. Looks startled and uncomfortable at being directly acknowledged. Yeah,
Don't worry, I'm here too. That was a joke, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, good to see you too. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, indeed. It's always a pleasure to meet your fellow, fellow socialites on the road. What can I do for you, gentlemen? I'm sure you have a busy trip on the way to the castle.
Ulrich's gonna like kind of like glance around and see if there's any like, is there like a carriage or a box of luggage or something that seems like it's waiting that might belong to Dream Aldrich? That would be
you
like
take a look. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just that, like, stuff that he would be taking to the castle, kind of thing.
You take a look around Orich. You don't see any carriages waiting by. Most of the carriages on the road seem to be passing by. But when you woke up, you were on the road, so you assume you were traveling on foot, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the long travel in this kind of weather can be quite the nerve worker on you, especially if you haven't taken as much of a jog recently in this weather. With winter approaching, it's hard sometimes, but it's a fine day for a winter day.
Could definitely be worse.
Yes, after all, the thunderstorm just cleared up, it seems. See, looks up in the sky. Quite beautiful. It's not very often we get sun out in this parts. Even as it's peeking through the clouds.
Oh, he will also look up at the sky, then he'll nod.
Oh, where are my manners? I apologize. He sticks a hand out to you. By the way, Ulrich. To both of you, but particularly you, since he is addressing you first and foremost.
Oh, well, suddenly wipe off some of the mud that's on his hand from cleaning off Brian, and then shake his hand.
My name is Theodore Oswald. Most of the people here are a bit higher up on the hierarchy than I am, so it's completely understandable that you don't know me. Many people know of you, of course. You're the world-famous detective, after all.
Oh, okay. I don't know about world famous. That's
Don't be
big
modest. You've
compliment.
solved so many cases. It's good to see you traveling with the world-renowned, esteemed poet, Brian Riley.
Yeah, it's a special pleasure. You should hold on to that.
I will.
Gestures to the paper.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure it'll accrue quite the amount of worth over time.
It can't be real. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. I wasn't doing it very well, but I was trying very hard to pretend like I remembered who you were. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Don't worry, it's fine. There are plenty of people around here. Not everyone knows each other's faces, if not their names every once in a while. After all, that gentleman over there in the doublet is Huxley Gray, son of a banker, run for generations. There's also Edmund Wesley over there, a jeweler on that stump. I'll let you know right now that he's got the finest gemstones for the elegant lady Ivana Boristi. I will tell you, as he winks, he works quite well with Sapphire.
Noted. Thank you. You're very, very familiar with everybody around here, it seems.
Why, of course. Well, like I said, I'm not as high up as everyone else. Nothing quite impressive. I'm simply a coin minter in Borca. Simple but necessary process.
Oh. No, it's very respectable.
Are you doing well? You seem to be a bit dazed. Do you need water?
I'm good on water. You're very familiar with everyone around here. I take it you're also pretty familiar with where people often hang around, where they usually are.
Well, of course, everyone has their estates around here. Within the few-mile radius of the castle, of course.
Do you happen to have seen where my partner is gone.
Looks past you. You mean not him, right?
Uh,
He's
looks
looking
over
at
where
Brian.
he's looking. No, not Brian. The work associate.
Oh, you're talking about the woman, aren't you? What was her name again? Alessa, I believe, or something like that. It's been quite a while since her murder. I do feel sorry for what happened so many years ago.
So many years, huh?
Yes, it's at least 24 years ago since she died that night.
Box just a little bit. It's kind of like glances to the side of Brian, just because like Brian, like, does he look 20 years older?
Brian does not look 20 years older.
Brian has a
Didn't think
20-yard
so.
stare.
Brian does, in fact, have a 20-yard stare, though.
He struggles to accept success.
Is he doing all right? Does he need water? It seems you gentlemen have been traveling on the road as opposed to carriage.
I think he's just takes some needs some processing time. I think he'll be okay. Sonia, by the way, her name is Sonia.
Right, that was it. Sonia!
Anyway, what news have you heard about the castle lately, if I might ask?
What news? Why, the lady's celebrating, of course. That's why we're all here, going to the castle. She sent out invitations to everyone.
Lady...
He kind of coughs at that. Lady Mara Silver, of course.
Of course.
The one and only lady.
The one and only.
Are you sure you're doing well? Do you need a seat?
Just been a long day, I think.
Oh, I can imagine. It's been a long day for everyone.
We should, I think we should probably get headed to the castle. It's been good talking to you.
Right. I'm just finishing up conversation with some of the gentlemen here, and I'll see you there.
See you there.
Ta-da!
He detaches himself inelegantly from the conversation, and he'll gently bring Brian along with his 20-yard stare.
Alright. In which case you are heading your way to the castle. You said you wanted to take a look around the area earlier?
Yeah. Just kind of...
Feel free to give me a perception check for the surrounding territory as you're kind of moving around. Okay. As you cross over the marshy plains, kind of heading towards the castle, down the road, you notice Chip's sword sticking out of the mud, sunk deep into the wet grass. In the muck behind it lies broken and battered shields, as several arrows have been pierced into the nearby trees. This is a bit out into the distance, some 20, 30 feet. About 20, I'd say.
Okay. Like, they seem aged a bit, like, kind of, like, amongst the overgrowth or anything, or...
It's hard to tell at this distance. Everything is kind of overgrown.
Well, alright, we'll cross the muddiness to check him out.
Cross the muddiness, leaving Brian on the road or dragging him along.
He'll prop Brian kind of against the side of the road, like out of harm's way, but if he's still dazed out, he can
Brian,
stay
how are
there.
you doing? Zombie? I see. Brian is dazed out still. Alright. You go into the swamp area where it is. As you see all these sort of shields and swords. What are you examining exactly? Are you examining what?
Partially like the age of it, like is there currently conflict going on, or is this from 20 years ago potentially? And then any like what's the word? Symbol?
Symbol?
Symbols that on them,
Okay.
like house symbols or anything that might be familiar to him.
Okay, we'll break this up into two questions. How recent was the fight? Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Unfortunately, due to the recent rainstorm, everything seems to be too weathered and rusted to tell. This could have happened months ago, as far as you're concerned.
Okay. Poor
And then
quality weapons.
Yeah, very, very rusted over. And go ahead and give me another investigation check for these symbols. Upon one of the standards in the mud is a symbol of a bear with a white skull on it. Kind of digging through the swamp a little bit, if you do, just to get at one of the shields, you find it bearing a red flurry cross with a spike on the end of it.
That sounds familiar.
It does. Something you heard quite recently.
He'll... He like stares at it for a minute, like trying to like remember it, and then he like just all of a sudden like frowns. He tosses it aside. It's not something he likes, and he will return back to the road and Brian.
Okay. Gotcha. You head over to the castle now?
Yeah.
Okay. As you both are journeying on past the hills, you come to a large, closed iron gate at the end of the lane. A passionately heated crowd of men are standing about the luxurious horse-drawn carriages from earlier as they are waiting outside the front gates. And you are approaching, you hear a kind of yelling a bit further ahead. What do you mean the gates is closed? Bloody hell, we've been waiting here in this bog mess for the better part of 15 minutes. I demand you get one of the lady servants open this gate right now.
Ulrich cringes a little bit, but we'll try to kind of weave to the front if there's like some crowd there, to get a closer look and listen in on the conversation and whoever he's arguing with.
Okay. You do manage to weave to the front of this quite large crowd. Most of them seem to be a bit off to the side, though, there is a gathering around the gates. As you get closer to the front, you hear yelling of this aristocratic man, quite infuriated, yelling at what appears to be some other people, perhaps coachmen, maybe a servant or something. As he continues yelling on.
Ooh, okay. Excuse me. Is there some sort of problem or delay happening? Has something unexpected occurred? Kind of talking more to the coachman than the infuriated aristocrat.
You start talking to the coachman, and you see the aristocrat snap his head to the side as the coachman is like looking at you and is about to speak up. He's like, "What's going on here? What's going on here? Is that some incompetent buffoon screwed up the itinerary, and now that's hell to pay for it?" We were supposed to have arrived at the castle and been invited inside by noon at the latest. But some fool forgot to unlock the gates. Now we're all crammed outside here, packed up with carriages and horses.
Ah, I see. I guess gonna take a peek at the lock. And I guess more he's gonna look through the gates at like to see if there's any movement of anybody beyond them or in the mansion castle thing.
This man kind of takes a moment to step off to the side as you are trying to look through the gates, as he's like waving his arms up and yelling back at the crowd with both hands raised to pass you. Where are the valets? Where are any of the servants? As you are looking past him through the gates, you see that there is trees on both sides with kind of marble statues leading up to this quite large set of double doors to the front castle. Kind of has eagles on its face of it. As there doesn't appear to be any sort of servants or anyone attending the gates or the doors or anywhere nearby on the other side.
Okay. And is it like lock and chain on the gate? What's like?
There appears to be a kind of antique brass lock, a quite large one that you could hold in both hands, with a chain going around both of the areas where the gates would open up at, keeping them barred and closed.
Mm-hmm. Ulrich's gonna pat his pockets, see what he has on him.
You pat your pockets, you find that there is
a nice
pretty much
jingle.
whatever you... Yeah, a nice little 9 o'clock. Nice little jingle of, you have no items for this. Pat your pockets, you see that whatever you would have been probably carrying on you, that would have been easy to just hold in your pockets, you would have had. You pull out the... If you hadn't thrown it away earlier, you pull out the broken cup pick, as well as the bent feather at this point.
Hey!
Quite unusable.
Oh, didn't expect to see these here. Okay. Gonna... Give the lock a little bit of a shake. It's an antique, right? How sturdy does it look?
It looks quite old, quite sturdy. You go up to give it a shake, though?
Yeah, just a little wiggle waggle.
Okay. You approach the lock, finding it to be, of course, the antique brass padlock, with a kind of vulture with a crown of branches adorning its surfaces, as a single keyhole lies flat and centered on it. Grabbing a hold of the lock, you go to shake it, you kind of twist it. However, as you do, you kind of hear a clicking sound, as suddenly the clasp comes undone in your hands. The loosened chain rattles against the fence as the heavy weight of the iron pulls them down. With a clatter, the gate becomes unlocked.
Wow. Okay. Ulrich looks at the padlock and then kind of shrugs to himself.
You see the crowd behind you as you go, "What the blazes? How did you do that?"
He'll glance back at them. The
Is
shrug.
it okay to enter?
I don't see why
Won't
not.
let in.
And he will push open the gates.
Never mind the details about whether or not we can go through. Gates unlocked as this man's demonstrated. Thank you kindly. I don't know about you, gentlemen, but I do not wish to wait out here any longer. I'm going inside to look for a host and demand what the issue is with her servants. I came here expecting a celebration, not to be made a donkey of by the young and hot-blooded mistress. As you open the gate for the rest of them, he goes in as everyone looks amongst each other and just starts filing in past.
Ulrich's gonna like fully open the gates and kind of let people start filing in. He's gonna try and catch the arm of somebody, like another coachman or something, someone who's not like of status.
Okay.
and just be like, I'm aware it's an odd question. What celebration exactly is happening here today?
Celebration?
Mm-hmm. Like what type? Like is there a special occasion?
The coachman gives you a kind of like taken aback look, like quizzical eye squint look, as if he is being asked something quite quite obvious for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
As he goes, the celebration is of course for Mara Silver's victory against Dronzorg. At least that's what everyone's been talking about.
Uh-huh. Right. Okay.
Have you not heard?
Uh,
I saw everyone around was aware.
I've been away a while. Waves a hand dismissively.
Understood, Master.
A particularly vicious victory, was it? I noticed all the armory in the marsh.
Feel free to give me a charisma persuasion check for that one. Yes, definitely something that the others try not to pay too much attention to. Though I suppose it's no secret, there are, of course, still traces of the battle left behind. Has it been that long since the fighting's concluded? Yes, it's her fight against Doc Dransorg took place quite recently. I think sometime last week, a few days ago. I don't know much about it, I'm sorry. I just know most people don't try to pay attention to the everything around. I've heard that she's been quite busy with the preparations lately, so...
No, she must be in such short time frame. Don't worry about it. Thank you for entertaining my questions.
Yes. I better get these horses stabled.
Mhm.
You'll excuse me.
You will free him.
All right. And you see everyone else kind of going by. After all the aristocrats funnel in, the coachmen start getting all the horses situated.
Mm-hmm. I guess to look over, have like people been able to get like actually properly inside the castle, or is that locked too?
You see that there is a gathering in front of the doors, the eagle-plated doors.
Gotcha. Okay. We'll head that away then.
Okay. Real quick, because it is 9,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and
That's
put
right.
us on break, just for a moment before we continue this.
All right.
So I will be right back.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Can't wait for us only to get to me and you until the very end, Devin.
Probably. Also,
On the
holy
record.
shit, a green arrow.
Green Arrow.
Green arrow. Oh. Double badink.
I feel like we've talked about the unofficial, or the quote unquote official sequel to Dracula on stream before. It's fucking dumb.
What is it?
It's certainly a thing.
Yes, it is.
They,
what?
A officially endorsed sequel to the original Dracula novel.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
Dracula Undead, a 2009 sequel to the 1897 novel Dracula. It was written by Bram Stoker's great-grandnephew, Dacre Stoker and Ian Holt. Previously, Holt had been a direct-to-DVD horror screenwriter and Dacre a track and field coach.
Wow.
In the novels afterwards, the authors discuss the many alterations made to the original novel's events due to the many inconsistencies between the originals, and their desire by Dacre to reassert control over the family's Dracula fiction.
Family's Dracula vision. That's funny. Real connected to that vision in 2009, you said?
Oh, it is only a mere 112 years later that it was written. What could possibly... It's obviously, it makes sense that Dacre Stoker would obviously have a full and comprehensive understanding of his great-granduncles.
Yeah.
In his blood.
They
Dude,
killed one of the main characters with of the previous novel by hitting them with the main villain's cart or carriage.
Wow.
They introduce Elizabeth Bathory so that they can have a sexy lesbian scene.
Oh my god.
And of course it's not consensual, so
Oh no.
Yeah.
just to really get it hammered home.
The mark of a masterwork.
Yeah. So the degree to which Bram Stoker and this guy would share blood. Also, I love the fact that if you ever read the Wikipedia page, due to the way that Wikipedia does links, obviously the first time that Bram Stoker's name shows up, that is the first time that they link it.
Yeah.
And so, in the same sentence that Dacre Stoker gets his own Wikipedia page, Bram Stoker doesn't get a Wikipedia page link because it was done the sentence before. But at the same time, there's something funny about your immediate reaction to if you're not paying attention, going, "Why does Bram Stoker not have a page, but Dacre Stoker does?"
I was just reading
Anyway.
the last paragraph of the synopsis, and the story is implied to kill the main character and Bram Stoker himself on the Titanic.
Great.
Oh.
Oh, he also wrote a prequel.
I own the prequel.
Dracula.
I haven't read it.
There's a Paramount has purchased the rights to the movie.
Oh, when?
Of course.
In 2018,
Also-
he released it. Paramount has purchased the rights to the movie. Director Andy Messerschmidt. What have you made? He made the It film series.
The
Okay.
The
which
film
one?
series.
Which
In
film series?
2023, he directed the DC Extended Universe film The Flash.
Oh no.
This is
Oh,
the
I didn't-
director that they've tapped for this.
Actually, yeah, never mind. I just realized that was made by.
The
Oh.
Listen, not
That makes
everyone can be a banger. Okay,
I-
not every.
yeah, I enjoyed
just-
both It films.
Producer, the older sister of the director. There's no
Keep it in the
nepotism
It
here.
hit me because I didn't like the second It film. I liked the first one pretty well. The second one I didn't like. It just wasn't as charming to me.
I liked them. I liked the movies.
They were good. I just liked the one a lot more than the second. Second, I was like, not as charming when it's not just a bunch of kids.
The other guy that they seem to have in it seems like he has a talent because he worked on The Grudge.
Okay.
Which Grudge?
And like the 2002 The Grudge
Okay.
Okay.
and The Ring.
It'd be really funny if they got the original, the
and-
Japanese.
Old Boy. Wait a minute. No. You cannot convince me that the producer for the Lego Movie and the
Yeah,
producer
there
for
we
Old
go.
Boy is the producer for Death Note 2017.
Okay,
Yeah.
producer has a lot of
This guy has a
terms.
lot of credits.
I say
Um,
producer is the least touching.
producer
Lego
has
project.
can
They have a
can be
lot,
like
like-
a bunch of roles, or they could have just donated a lot of money to the production. Or
That one
or,
has to be a just donate money.
or
Yeah.
like they
Also,
bought
because-
coffee
because-
for the director one time.
Also, because I'm thinking of it, as soon as Ulrich's like, I'm moving closer to the fire, I'm like, he's gonna be gone. I had that feeling, like, back of my head, being like, Ulrich's gone now. 'Cause he's-
He got
The-
spooked. He don't like feeling hunted, okay?
The Stokerverse, a range of novels, audios, comics, short stories, RPG, board and video game franchises emanating from Bram Stoker's life work. Evidently, there's a Dracula RPG by Nightfall Games that came out in 2022.
Oh.
There is Dracula Crooked Dice, Z7 TV war game, came out
For
in
half a
2022.
second, I thought you were gonna say
Dracula
Blackula.
Dark Reign, a retro handheld video game that is expected out in 2024.
No, it's actually called the Stokerverse role playing game.
My god. Okay, why is CBC News in 2009 reporting this as Dracula sequel goes back to swords? I think all Dracula sequels have used the source on some degree, and I think some of them have had a more direct and respectful connection to the original than
I don't know. What was that 2011 Dracula Untold or something like that? The action film?
I actually kind of enjoyed that.
that's
movie.
not a sequel.
Oh, fair. You're right. That's a
That's a
retelling, isn't
prequel.
it? Oh, it's a
Like a
prequel? I thought it was a
prequel
retelling.
thing.
No, yep, right.
No,
It was because
except it's
him
not
getting
like-
his powers.
It's not a good prequel because it doesn't
No.
set up the novel at all.
I wouldn't even necessarily it's using the character Dracula, but
Yeah.
it's not using Dracula as in Count Dracula of Bram Stoker
Like, yeah.
fame. It's using Dracula the
Fair. The horror icon. Not...
They kind of pull on some of the themes that were introduced in the Bram Stoker's Dracula film, like the idea that his wife can be reincarnated or some shit with the ending scene,
Hi, I'm back.
which was always a
Welcome
weird
back.
thing because
Is this Fear
They're
and
all-
Fear and Cry?
oh my god. There
No,
needs
no,
to
look at
be
the one
some
above it.
connection to between I'm forgetting her
up?
name.
That's Acheron's VA.
Jonathan's.
I see.
I cannot remember any of the character names except for like Jonathan, Seward, and Quincy. Oh, and heck, Mina. There we go. For some odd reason, there's got to always be a connection between Mina and Dracula, despite the fact that there isn't in the original novel, except until like the third act.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also love the fact that like the novel is Dracula the Dead, because in 1997 and then reprinted in 2009 by Penguin Books was Dracula the Undead, which is a sequel written 100 years after the original.
I put boat up.
Um,
I am gonna refill my water real quick.
What a world we live in.
It's on -dead because that's how it is in most printings of Dracula.
Oh. I mean, but one would assume that part of that is also that you cannot publish a novel with the exact same name as another novel.
Oh,
I'm
I
trying to
don't
remember what it
know.
was like when I read Dracula, whether or not it was.
it's hyphenated in my copy, or like the word itself in the book.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm just like I'm trying to remember, but I haven't read it since middle school, so.
For the few times that the word undead is brought up, and it's always by Von Helsing.
Alright, I'm back.
Does he do that Von Helsing face?
Maybe.
Maybe. Which
The
Van
only
Helsing
copy-
face?
The only copy of Dracula I have is entirely words. Wait, no, that's a lie. There's also I have the manga.
I was about to say, wasn't that one of the few of the series that you did have in physical?
It
You
is.
were like, you have Dracula, you have
I have
Les
Dracula, Macbeth.
oh wait, man, Macbeth. That's it.
I have Les Mis
Right, was it-
digitally.
That's
And
what
I
it was,
have
okay.
It was purple-haired Lady Macbeth, right?
yeah, purple-haired Lady Macbeth is actually just both of the Macbeths are way hotter than they should be.
Well, they have to get people interested in it.
I mean,
What's
true.
the point if they're not hot, Shane?
Shakespeare, hot spear is what everyone wants.
I've sent images of both before.
Oh, of course.
Like
I'm surprised you haven't used them as reference images
like-
yet.
Macbeth is an attractive man. Quote me on that, motherfucker.
Yeah, there was plenty of space around that to clip it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, nice.
I agree. And Beth is hot.
Also, Snack, I heard what you said right before I left. We're like already over halfway through. It's not gonna take that long.
I'm surprised. Thanks.
Oh, you did
came
miss.
back.
I was like, as soon as old, I was like, he's gone for.
I don't know what you said. You just cut out from us.
Internally, as soon as Ulrich was like, I'm gonna move closer to the fire, I was like, he's gone forever.
He's gone. He's dead. He got consumed by the
He
fire.
got
closer
too
to the
spooked.
fire.
That was exactly what my gut feeling was like. He's gone. I didn't expect
gone.
I didn't expect Brian to, but I should have. But at the same time, as long as one of you survive.
I can't believe when we weren't looking, they got sucked up into the fireplace by the fire witch.
Again, the fire witch went. Ah!
The fireplace
I heard
witch
you
is
like
weird
my
about, or the
cupcakes.
chimney witch is weird about you.
Would you like to come to
Dinner.
my cupcake land? We serve cupcakes every day.
Honk, shoo, shoo, shoo. I'll take those as a yes.
Cupcakes
Black
1 hour a day
Queen.
every day.
The Black Queen chants the funeral march. The cracked glass
I
bells will
see.
ring.
Come
bring
to me,
back
to my
the fi-
cupcake castle.
The fire witch.
Shh. I'll take that as a yes.
Take those, yes.
Oh boy.
Did I just... Oh no, it's there. It is. I was like, did I clear the Vogue accent? No, I didn't. It's just there.
To the court
Yeah.
of the Crimson Queen.
Alright, we wait on Zombie and a Devon.
Oh mein Gott.
Due processes.
A vote.
Due processes.
There's a vote. Oh mein Gott.
There is a vote.
I can't
And there
believe
was
it.
only one. There we go.
Left it open.
Alright.
He's still in here.
What the hell?
Do not
What?
go into the cave, Crinden. It's full of fine blue
Oh.
and smoking.
Okay. Since all the votes are clicked, I'll say we're getting back into it as I switch over the music.
There's ein Flammenwerfen. They were Flammen.
Alright, Snack.
Okay, I'm done now.
You head up to the gates. Okay. Following the crowd, you find yourselves at the front door of the castle. Much like the iron gates, they too remain closed. But as you're taking a look around, they don't appear to be closed entirely for as long. As the concerned voices of the noblemen begin rising up once more, the eagle-plated doors of the front entrance swings inwards, almost as if by an invisible hand. The castle opens, inviting you all inside. Assuming you have no immediate responses, finding yourself... yes?
Other than like looking at it suspiciously and letting other people go in first, no, not really.
Okay.
That was a creak and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, could you hear that? I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was the door opening, yep. It's more like stone than that, but yeah.
That was my chair.
Perfect. Finding yourselves at the back of the crowd, it becomes quite hard to tell where your radiant hosts might be, as each one of the noblemen files inwards. As the line thens before you, you're thrusted into the castle by the men behind you, as both of you find yourselves within a grand foyer. The beige porcelain tiles have a geometric star painted in the center of the hall, flanked by 2 staircases as a hall door leads off either side of them. The lights are burning low, as the torch lamps hold dying embers. Yet as you settle down, a murmuring seems to take over the silence. A restlessness can be felt within the room, as the noblemen look amongst themselves. As you notice the stairs, you realize that they are searching for their host. Even as you look at the upper railing on the 2nd floor, you can't seem to make out any knight or noble lady waiting in the wings. What would you like to do?
I'd like to acquire a torch or lamp thing, even if it's low light.
Yeah, you can go ahead and take out one of the torches you probably would have had on you.
I was just gonna take one off the wall.
Yeah, they are floor torches, like the huge, like big
Oh,
things.
okay, I got you. Okay,
Yeah, the big
okay.
metal things.
Alright. One of his own then. I wasn't sure if they were too big to have on his person, but okay. Yeah.
Torches aren't that big. You probably have one on your person.
Gotcha. Oh. And he's gonna... I guess he's gonna kind of veer off in the direction of the tower, seemed to be, from the outside.
Okay. You veer off to the tower on the left side of the house.
Yeah. Trying to figure out, like, the insides are different now, because different building now, but...
You head off to the tower as the group seems to be mumbling amongst themselves. You go to the left hall door, not the one by the stairs, but the one all the way to the left. As you go to turn it, and it appears to be rattle as it's locked, if not stuck.
Just knocks on it absently. It's like, it'd be nice if this one just magically unlocked for me.
You're knocking on the door. All the noblemen haven't completely finished filing into the room yet. As you're knocking on the door, you still hear the murmurs of the crowd behind you, but it does not appear to be budging or moving in any sort of way.
He shall look for another way. Kind of goes back. What's like the mood of everybody in the room now? Like, is it still angry, or are people getting kind of apprehensive, or?
People are getting pretty apprehensive at this point. Like, fairly apprehensive. The anger has kind of diminished at this point in the way of the silence and the murmuring.
He'll go over to one of the people, like, kind of on the edge of the crowd.
Alright.
Like, excuse me.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't notice you.
No, that's fine. Everyone's a little on edge right now, it seems.
Well, we were expecting the Lady Silver to be awaiting us. See that she's not here. The hall is empty. The lights are hardly attended to. No servants. What isn't there to be a bit apprehensive of? I mean, the gates were locked. You saw that. You were the one that unlocked them.
Perhaps everybody should wait outside instead. I can take a look around in here and see if there's any shrugs, clues as to what might have happened here.
As you're kind of saying that to the nobleman, you hear the rest of the crowd kind of funnel in as a light pouring through, illuminating the center of the room a bit more. As you kind of hear a rumbling. The last footsteps of the remaining guests enter the grand foyer, and suddenly a large rumbling can be felt within the room. as the sound of a scraping door comes to halt. With a thud, the eagle-plated doors close behind everyone, and if not before, with the apprehension, a mild nervousness can be felt within the hall as everyone stares back at the now sealed entrance. Well, I suppose that's a sign that we are welcomed. I, for one, do not enjoy playing this little charade of hers, though. Lady Silver, where are you? I demand you show yourself at once. It is I, your father's faithful servant, Harold Gosworth. Lavinta. Please, madam, if we are all very tired from a long trip and are expecting a banquet. As we've recently come to understand, you've bested the likes of Doc Dranzorg, which is very good. However, this joke of yours is ill-humored. We had to let ourselves in through the front gates as your servants were absent. If you would, could you please show yourself so we can get this mess sorted out and straight to the celebrations? As the wine merchant's voice dies out, the hall returns once more to silence. Only the flickering of flames can be heard among the hard leather souls of the aristocrats. You are in a closed chamber. What would you like to do?
After like a moment of it being clear that there is no voice that's gonna answer him, gonna be like, all right. He's gonna go back to that stuck door and just try and break it down. Like it's, the time for pretending to be the civil noble person is over.
You trying to break the door down?
Yeah, the one that goes towards the tower.
What would you like to use?
Can you borrow my
Is
knife?
there? Huh?
Can you borrow my knife?
Oh.
Brian, as you go to reach for your knife, you find that you have no knife on you.
Oh shit. Should
However,
it be
you
knife?
notice that your weapon is also missing.
My only toy from my childhood.
I'm gonna leave that alone. It's a little upsetting. One of those I don't know, can you use one of those big floor lights we were just talking about?
You could attempt to use one of the big floor lights, yes. It is fairly heavy, so I would need you to make me a strength check at this point.
Does it have like any like I guess like flatter pieces like on the top or something that you could try to like wedge in the side of the door and like instead of like, oh, I'm charging at it, but just try to like angle it till the door cracks open?
You could. It's not as efficient as like a crowbar would be, though. You could
Okay.
attempt.
Alright. We'll just do our best. Did you say just straight strength check?
Yeah, go give me a strength check.
I'll give you bardic inspiration. Have a d6.
Hell yeah.
Just let me navigate into the combat tracker. Drop that on you. Don't worry, you're stronger than you know.
Oh.
What a
Thanks,
beautiful
buddy.
romance.
Yeah, feel free to give me that.
Oh. Well.
Would you like to use the d6?
Yeah.
Feel free to double click the bardic.
Oh.
That's placed. That's still a 5.
Type 5 back into the thing, and then double click the bardic inspiration header.
Sorry, can you say that again?
There should be a in the window. Replace that
I
8 with a
see.
5, and then there should be a bardic inspiration thing you can highlight and double click. There you go. That makes sense.
You
He's not
go.
stronger than he knows.
Yeah. You go to kind of lift it up. It is fairly heavy. This is pure iron, if not steel. You get it like a few inches off the ground before it threatens to tip over.
Mm-mm. Well, not that way then.
Here, let me try.
Yeah, go for it.
I was about
Oh
to
my
say,
god!
Brian, you feel your bones almost crack under the pressure of this. As it is threatening to tip onto you.
Oh, okay, let's straighten that out. Reaches out, pulls it forward.
I think you're
Alright,
gonna
let's
hurt
skim for an easier to access door.
There does appear to be the doors on the halls. There's also the stairs. If you would, can you give me a perception check? As you're kind of looking at this
Sure.
area?
Sure.
Okay. Looking around the foyer, your eyes come upon the right side stairway as you notice the door next to it. It seems to have been left slightly ajar as the light comes into the foyer.
Alright, as good a lead as any. He'll head that away.
As you're kind of like caught the attention of a few of the people doing the little stunt from earlier, and they see you heading towards there. You hear the Vinter from earlier call out. Oh, yes, the hallway leads to the audience chamber. Astute observation, of course. Come on, if there's anywhere she would be waiting, it'd be there.
Thanks, Harold. He's just gonna let Harold lead the way.
Okay.
I can't wait for this to be where the fucking line from Dalk asking us stuff before he explodes the thing comes from.
As there is no longer a need to keep your hosts waiting, you all begin heading towards the audience chamber through the first floor hall, with Harold leading in front. Feel free to give me a perception check as you are both of you give me a perception check as you're heading through the doorway, the hallway.
No, I missed
I will-
the thing.
I will let you know you are trying to be okay. Never mind about that. You're trying to be a DC 13.
I
Okay.
have beaten a
My first roll
DC
was
of
a
negative
19 and I
2.
missed the thing. Oh,
Guys,
Christ.
you're giving me anxiety.
Oh boy, this is gonna be
Just
fun. I'll tell you
grab
that.
the popcorn and just turn your mind off like a horror movie.
I'll be
No.
honest.
I am
I wrote
eating
the-
oatmeal cream pies and like snook and candy bars right now, enjoying this.
I'm not scared
I'm
about
enjoying it.
today. I'm scared about tomorrow.
Oh
The
yeah,
failures
No,
are
you're
also
fucked.
very funny too. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bumbling around behind the rest of the crowd, your eyes can't help but wander around the hall as you begin to notice the wallpaper. There's something inherently ugly about it, almost obtuse, as it seems to be peeled back in certain areas. The garish red of it is contrasted heavily by the yellow cedar. It feels as if someone had once vomited out a crayon and then etched their way into it with a knife.
Spicy.
Nice, use the wrong word.
Approaching the end of the audience chamber after a minute. Opening the doors of the audience chamber. As I switch us for a moment. Blood pools out from beneath it, as it floods past the feet of everyone standing behind them. Standing in the middle of the chamber of gore and viscera is a woman with red hair and gleaming silver armor. Blood runs down her face and cheeks as she is holding an axe with demonic toads on it. Guts hangs off the axe head as she looks up with a violent expression. A sort of euphoric look takes over it as she welcomes you all to her castle. Welcome to my castle, dear nobleman. I'm so glad to see you made it. There was a terrifying glint in her eyes. What the hell is the meaning of this? Oh, this? Well, I was just taking care of my earlier guest from the other day. As saying this, you notice around her the butchered bodies of marauders wearing leathered caps. It is so very hard to keep them entertained. I practically had to lock the gates on them. Their screams of excitement could hardly be contained otherwise. Oh, but where are my manners? Time must have slipped by me. I didn't realize that the grand celebrations would be happening this soon. Don't worry though, Sir Gosworth. I heard your earlier complaints down the hall. I've taken them very much to heart. She gestures to the pile of corpses as the breast of a flopped over serving maid is cut open. It's unfortunate, though. Finding good help these days is becoming so hard. I'm sure you can relate, Gosworth. Taking a step through the pool of blood as her heels click across the tile, the bloody knight makes her way towards the crowd. What are your immediate reactions?
Ulrich is in the back. He's gonna turn around. He's gonna go not that way. He's gonna just like.
You're leaving?
Yeah, just try and slip away.
Ulrich, you go to turn around, and you see down the hall has disappeared as there seems to be a red mist ascending towards you.
Not the red mist.
Almost as if it's
Seen that before.
slithering.
Don't like it. Okay. Gonna
As you
turn back into the room.
You hear behind you, if you don't say anything immediately after that, what are you planning on doing with us? Do you have any additional words, either of you two?
It's gonna make for an interesting story, this dream.
Yeah, Ulrich has, nothing to say.
Alright. A celebration, aren't we? Where are your manners? As she says this, she tilts her head. I'm to sit you down and tell you of my judgments. After all, with that boar gone, it's only appropriate I clean up the excess filth left behind. I can't have my homecoming slandered by mud throwing after all. This place has become a pigsty. Too much decadence, too much wallow. The castle has become a veritable breeding ground for the unfit and harlots. Not just a castle. Surely you jest, you don't mean to say, but also the land. Where were you all when my father was slain? What about after? Cowering. That's what. You cowards. Hiding in your beds under your sheets like sniveling schoolchildren. I can assure you, madam, we'd have done something if we could. And meanwhile, your wives and serving girls were whoring themselves out. The swine like this was a brothel. You have no dignity. We had no choice. They would have bricked us in the walls if they said otherwise. They had needs, demands. What about my needs? That didn't stop you from denying me when I pleaded. All I wanted was money. Money and loyalty. I just needed enough resources and what was required to take back the castle, and people to help with that. If you were so disgusted with him, then why not help? Instead, you just sat there, providing them with wine for the degeneracy. My lady, we were just scared? No. No, you weren't scared. Most of you probably enjoyed the business. Why else would you have let things come this far. One lord dies, suddenly earning the favors of the next. Was that how it was after my father's passing? My lady, when your father passed, we all grieved. But the situation was pressing. We couldn't do anything. Helping was a death sentence for some of us. I did everything I could. I knew you had come to my state. I know I turned you away. There's a moment where I wouldn't feel ashamed of it. I could have just helped in any other way I would. I paid whatever meant necessary to volunteer when you were recruiting. It was an unspoken agreement, but it was the only way. You must believe me. Theodore Oswald. The men I recruited all abandoned me. What? The men that didn't desert on the way towards the castle. Quickly, up the moment we left, gave up quickly the moment we arrived. Without putting up so much as a fight. Every one of them surrendered. And you know what they said to those brigands? Take her! We never wanted to have any part to this to begin with. It's not our liege. We were only in it for the money. So I slaughtered them. But please, you have to understand I was only trying to help. Oh, believe me. You certainly helped me reach my decision. I hear your pleas. However, I simply chosen to disregard them. With those words from her crimson lips, the Bloody Knight swings the demonic axe with a maddening shriek as it cleaves through the air, straight into the torso of the frightened aristocrat. Before his dying words can leave his throat, the blood gurgles up from his mouth with a croak as he collapses to the floor. You can see for the briefest of moments what you could almost swear to be the eyes of the toads rolling around within their heads as they lock gaze onto the fallen man. Their expression possesses a hideous sense of remorselessness as the faces remain stone cold towards his demise. I need you both to make me a wisdom saving throw. Ryan, as you are staring at the scene, you become terribly afraid. Without missing a beat, the axe screams through the air once more, as a second and third noblemen are struck down before you. The bloodthirsty shrieking decimates the chambers as the audience begins fleeing, over which the mist behind you disappears as a hallway is stretched out before you. A crimson aura begins enveloping the Bloody Knight as the red mist pours into the room through the curtains behind her. I need you both to make me a perception check.
Nope.
You see the mist begin consuming stragglers as they vanish with it. The only thing remaining behind is the sound of their cries before abruptly being cut off by a sharp piercing. The mist behind the woman. The halls are open. What would you like to do?
Grab Brian and leave.
Begin running.
Yeah.
Okay, we're switching over to this playlist.
Ulrich's no soldier. He's not gonna go head on if he can avoid it.
Okay. We're going to start A chase sequence! As I have rules in front of me. You guys are currently 15 feet. You start 15 feet away from Mara as the red mist slowly approach. You will have obstacles in your way. Depending whether you succeed or fail, the distance between you will change. After every 2 obstacles, you both will have an opportunity to attempt an action to try to prevent her approach or slow it down. With that said, try not to hit 0 movement between you two, between you and her, as the crazed knight makes her unceasing march towards you. Doom hangs heavily over both your heads as you begin running, fleeing down the now twisting hallway. You see the frightened noblemen before you falter as they are knocked down by the furniture, succumbing to the red mist behind you as you pass them by. I'm also going to go ahead and add these 2 entities to the combat tracker, just to give you an idea. As you are running past a small antique cabinet, the drawers suddenly spring forth. I need you both to make me either an acrobatics or acrobatics or athletics check. Alright. I will go ahead and remove that frightened condition from you now, zombie. Let me go ahead and make sure the total movement is written down for both of you. Okay. Ulrich, you manage to push back against the cabinet as you run right on through. Brian, however, the drawers slam into your side as you are bashed against the wall, momentarily losing 5 feet of movement as you are down to 10 feet of distance. As you both manage to make your way past the spilled potting soil of broken vase, you notice the red smeared doors start swinging wildly open. I need you both to make me a strength saving throw.
Did it miss again? Oh my god.
I think it did.
Oh my god.
Oof.
You can also just double click the window if you're having trouble making it go into the chat.
That is also
Usually I
valid.
don't. So it's like
Oof. Okay. Like a rake, the door slams into your face as you are knocked back. Taking a moment to stagger forward, you push past it as you notice a brick wall on its inside, as both of you will lose 5 feet of movement. The first player action has come up. The mist slowly approach, as you've lost sight entirely of the hallways behind you. Marching her way onwards, with axe in both hands, is the bloodied knight as she bulldozes through the cabinets, while leaving doors hanging on their hinges. Both of you are allowed to use your action, or bonus action. By the way, to let you know, you are allowed to use Rage, Bardic Inspiration at any point during any of these checks, before the beginning or the end of any of the obstacles, just to let you know. But you're able to use your action to attempt to thwart her however you want, either with a class feature or the surrounding around you. Both of you feel free to give me an idea of what you would like to attempt to do.
compile logs to appear is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he'll rage.
You get out of this just fine.
Okay.
I can't bardically inspire myself.
I would let you know, raging works best before an obstacle because it will immediately go away afterwards.
Tragic. Okay. He will hold the rage before immediately doing an obstacle.
Yeah. Unless you've taken damage, of course, and it'll continue.
That's true. I mean, she's just barreling through the furniture and the doors on her own.
Yeah. Those were the previous obstacles you two were going through. She's
Yeah.
completely bulldozed through both of those on her. You can attempt to do something else in order to impede her. There's furniture around you, chairs, tables, vases, cabinets, even.
Oh, I see what Brown is doing.
That's your action to use heroism?
Yep.
Okay.
I've been heroismed. I do
Yeah,
not know
you
what
can't-
heroism does.
Wait, didn't you say heroism doesn't?
Work
It
on
doesn't
you.
work on Brian.
Doesn't work in Bright. It works on other
Period.
people, though.
He can never like you can cast it on. He can try to cast it on himself. It doesn't function. It has no effect on Brian. Period.
Yeah, he
Gotcha.
does not have the heroic bones.
Would you like to try to attempt, Ulrich? You can use anything from your inventory as well that you have,
Yeah, I'm skimming through it.
as long as it's not weapons or anything, because you don't have those on you.
Scrolls through. Could it be like an action to like knock down a cabinet into the middle and drop his torch on it so it lights on fire?
You could do that, yes.
He already has a lit one in his hand.
He does still have his lit torch. That is very true.
Man,
In which
that's
case,
lit.
knocking the cabinet over will make it a DC 12. Setting it on fire will make it a DC 14, I'll say, for her. To try to surpass. So she will make her strength check. As you, Brian Bartickley inspiring you as well as giving you a bit of courage in this trying situation. Is there anything Brian would have said specifically for the for those, by the way, Zombie?
For the Bark inspiration, he said, "Don't worry, you'll get out of this, Ulrich."
And the
so
heroism,
much.
any words?
Nothing for heroism.
Understood. You run past the cabinet, tipping it over as you turn around to throw your torch on it, the cabinet being caught aburst. The figure of the woman kind of takes a moment as she tries to cleave through it, but the fire springs up, landing on her as she tries to put herself out. It takes her a few moments to get this cabinet out of the way, as you both earn, I'm going to say, 15 feet of movement between you two. So Ulrich is at 25 and Brian's at 20. Okay. Third obstacle comes in the way. You hear a crackling in the air as lights begin flickering strangely. Suddenly, the snapping of metal can be heard as the chains of a chandelier above snaps. I need you both to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Bring down the chandelier. Sorry.
No worries. Would you like to use the Bardic Inspiration?
Should I not have advantage on this? From Danger Sense?
You should. This should be with advantage.
Do you have danger sense?
He does. It's not on him currently. It is not on him currently. Can you go to your action tab and click Danger Sense under your class features?
You can also just roll another d20 and then replace it.
Yeah, but I need Danger Sense to be on
Yeah.
there anyways.
Do you want me to roll it and then turn on Danger Sense just so it's
Yeah, you can
Not
roll it
double.
and then turn on Danger Sense.
okay? I am not gonna use Bardic.
Okay. I'll leave Danger Sense up to you to turn on. Brian, you end up, both you, Ulrich, you feel that for a moment you were in danger of getting smashed by the chandelier, but you both managed to hurriedly duck out of the way as you manage to leap out from below the plummeting chandelier as it comes crashing down straight against the tile. The fourth obstacle Heading towards a crowd of aristocrats, you notice a large open door as they seem to be blocking off the hallway. I need you guys to make me an athletics, acrobatics, intimidation, or persuasion check to attempt to navigate this crowd.
Skim,
Any of those
skim.
choices that you
Skim,
feel
skim,
you're most
skim.
confident in.
Yeah, just athletics.
So
Or
athletics, acrobatics, or intimidation?
Intimidation or persuasion.
Intimidation or persuasion.
Why did I have...
Rage.
You were raging.
Forgot about that. Okay, I'll say I activated rage.
Okay. We'll go ahead and get rage off you because you won't be taking damage after this one.
Yeah.
So that is 1 use of rage.
Ta-da.
That is a 5, and that's 22. So we'll start with Ulrich first. Navigating your way through the crowd, you continue running onwards down the long hallway as you push your way past several other people. Brian, however, you are stopped by the large body of men as you try to peek your head over them as you look for a way through. However, it seems to be impossible to bypass the crowd, as you are going to lose 10 feet of movement from this. The knight closes in behind you, Brian, as she begins raising her axe. Quickly thinking, you instead rush into the large dining room as you continue fleeing. The second player action has approached. You've lost sight of one another as you can see the bloody knight behind you cleaving her way into this dispersing crowd of men. Her axe is clumsy as she slowly makes her way through. Feel free both to give me an action. You aren't able to see each other, but you can probably still hear each other for this one.
He has no magic behind it, but Ulrich is gonna call out for Brian. Just it's like, you're gonna make it out of here too. As you just
I'll consider that free action.
yeah.
Did you use the Bardic Inspiration yet? Or
Not yet.
not yet? Okay.
Scoot your boot, Greeby. What space is Ulrich in now? Is it still a hallway?
Ulrich is in a hallway past the crowd, as Amara seems to be cutting through them. The Blade Knight seems to be cutting through them. Ulrich currently has 25 feet of distance between him and her.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Is it
we will consider Blade Ward up for now.
is it very like the layout seems totally different based from when we were like going in towards the audience chamber, or
The hallway
layout
seems
the
to
same?
be a bit longer than you remember, but you're also been impeded several times. You don't remember the doorway being open before, but most of the doors were closed coming through the hallway.
Okay.
Yeah, one Brian had rushed through.
I
It
guess
does appear to be like slightly twisting. From what you can tell, that might be your head messing with you.
that's spooky. Can I just like action dash towards it? Try and get out of sight of Mara before she finishes cleaving through?
Yeah, I'm under the assumptions we're always action dashing here.
Oh, okay, so we just get additional action other than dashing. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there, I don't know, is there another chandelier on the ceiling?
Yeah, I'd say there's another chandelier on the ceiling.
Okay.
Going to bring down the chandelier.
Yeah. We're sure gonna try. We're gonna chuck something at the very least.
Okay.
Is there like
What are you gonna
is there like a serving platter on a cart or something around that he can just like frisbee up there?
There probably is.
Okay.
You're gonna
I'm
try to
give it a
frisbee?
shot. Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a strength check, because this is assuming you're doing it unproficiently.
I'll have you know, Ulrich was a Olympic level.
You throw this this platter right through. It kind of like curves up Like it goes up and then curves and cuts through the chain as you run past it and you hear it crashing behind you. I'm going to have her attempt to do, only for you, attempt a... I'll say it's an acrobatics check for this, to attempt to get through. Say it's like DC, yeah, that'd be easily enough. Okay. You manage to frisbee this as she starts getting through the crowd, rushing towards you. You see the chandelier drop, missing her. As you're 25 feet of distance, you start running out.
Yikes.
We'll get that closed out for now. Okay. On to our 5th obstacle. We will start with Orage. The halls become eerily quiet around you, as they seem to be empty. However, as you turn to look behind you, you notice the mists begin rolling in. While there's no bloody knight marching at the head of them, you do see something shapeless slithering in the fog. Ulrich, I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw. Would you like to use the Bardic?
I would like to use a Bardic.
Okay. You blink and shake your head as something ominous nearly befalls you. Your mind shuts out whatever interference it might have posed as you continue charging onwards. With that, you successfully skip the obstacle,
Whoa!
as you will not see what it attempt to make you see. Brian, on the other hand, the door slams shut behind you as you begin running through the dining room chamber. However, as you approach the grand banquet, you hear the splintering of wood from behind. A second loud crash can be heard coming from the door as the demonic toads glance through. You can see their eyes rolling in the axe head as the red mist slowly floods both sides of the room, leaving your only path forward being the table before you. Brian, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
You can do it, buddy.
No, I can't.
Ha.
If he hadn't given himself that 3rd level, maybe.
Yeah. The toad slings its tongue out of its mouth at your leg as it catches onto your foot. However, you stumble onto a platter as a shoe slips right off into a tin of custard pie. The poor footwear launches off with it directly into the amphibian's face as it is blinded. You end up running across the banquet table out into the other hallway as you hear a loud clang. As we are going to move past onto the 6th obstacle. Ulrich, you've almost entirely escaped the red mist as they linger in the throngs behind. Whatever was hidden within them seems to have slowed down its chase as you retreat. However, as the hallway entrance comes into view, you suddenly begin feeling dizzy. A lightheadedness comes over you as your legs begin to wobble. What smells like fumes of varnish floods the room as the oil from some nearby paintings begins evaporating. A blackish yellow haze fills the hall. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
Alright. You hold your
I'm
sleeve
sorry,
up
that
to
was
your...
a check.
That would have been enough.
Yeah, okay. I was double checking. Yeah, okay.
You hold your sleeve up to your nose as you try not to breathe in any more of the fume. The haze prevents you from seeing as you use your hands to trace your way through the hall's entrance. You do lose 5 feet of movement from this,
Okay.
but you all do not suffer any other ill effects. Brian, as you run through the hallways, unimpeded, you notice a collection of oil paintings on the wall surrounding you. They appear at first smeared, as if ruined by time or water, but as you examine them closer, they seem to you as if they were painted with a violent brush. The screaming faces begin to bleed off the canvas as they flood down the wall, and as one reaches an arm out to you through the portrait, you get an unsettling feeling, as if staring at a mirror. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
my god, it's the real Brian. A formless, pointless pile of grease.
Buddy.
Self-deprecation, apparently winning things for Brian.
You violently throw off the arm as you shove the figure back into the portrait. As its head smashes against the bathtub, blood pours out of its skull as it lies dead within its dark chambers. You continue
shit.
running for your life, not looking back.
Talk about death of the author.
I can't believe you just killed Brian David Gilbert.
No.
You do end up losing 5 feet of movement from this as you are down. You are on your third player action. As this one's going to be a bit unique. Ulrich is 20 feet away. Brian is 5 feet away for the night. Ulrich, reaching the entrance to the first floor hallway, you go to twist the door handle as it appears to be stuck. No matter how much you budge it doesn't make a difference as you aren't able to force it open. As you stare back at the black haze behind you, slowly gasping for breath, you see a series of doors with red bloodstains under them. However, as you look, there appears to be one door missing the signature marking. If you don't attempt to do anything else, trying that door, as your eyes burn from the black haze, you twist it open as what appears to be an old dining hall appears before you. The room hasn't been used in quite some time, as cobwebs cover the corners of it. In addition, there appears to be several white sheets thrown over chairs, with strange shapes hidden under them.
Ah, familiar room. All right.
Can
gonna-
I will give you a...
Still hear me? Can I give Bardic Inspiration?
He cannot hear you anymore.
Okay.
You are down 2 separate hallways. Let me read Brian's thing, and then I'll fill you in on what you guys are doing, if you don't check on our sheets or anything like that.
Okay.
Brian, as you come to the end of the empty hallway, you find that the exit is blocked off by a locked door. Jingling its handle a few times, the door rattles as it doesn't give way. Looking back behind you, searching for a quick exit, you find a dark blue room staring back at you through the tiny crack of the door. Pushing it open, you slam it behind you, as you find yourself locked within the master bathroom. The aquamarine checkered tiles gives it an underwater presence, as if you could drown in here. Within the room is a sink, a cabinet, a mirror, and a bathtub. With this... First off, did you want to check under the sheets, Sid?
Yeah, he's gonna... I guess, assuming the layout is at all similar to the first room that we saw like this, he's gonna check that same one that had the doll under it last time.
You check under the sheet. There appears to be, among the sheet and what you can imagine several of the other sheets, several pristine skeletons underneath. Perhaps previous dinner guests? Here's what you guys are doing. You are stuck at a dead end. You are stuck within a room. The only room you can enter without going back. You have one action for every 5 feet of movement you have between you and the night to attempt whatever you want to do. To block off the room, to do whatever. At the end of this, feel free to give me a dexterity stealth check to attempt to hide. And if I think your preparations are adequate, I will give you advantage on this.
I'm gonna open the door for a moment and point out into the mist and cast a message into the mist and say, "I'm sorry to hear about your dad. Did you know I never had a father?" And then I'll shut the door.
That's your one action that you
That's
get?
my action. I'm gonna cast a message and say, I never had a dad. I'm really sorry to hear about what happened to yours.
You feel free to take a look around the room, figure out anywhere that's suitable to you. Ask me whatever questions about the room that you want to know. Ulrich has exactly 4 actions to work with, to let you know, Sid. by the way.
4? Okay.
Any questions either of you have about your rooms, shoot, and I'll answer.
After that, I'll just sit in the bathtub and wait for the end to come.
You sit in the bathtub with the curtain pulled.
No, I just assume the crash position in the bathtub and
I see.
wait.
Understood.
It wasn't a good life, but it was a life.
Understood.
Man, is this like a... Are there like any windows or anything? Or another chandelier?
There is a chandelier. There are also a few windows, very dark outside, I'd say. Hardly able to see as there seems to be mist around. It doesn't appear to be red, as far as you can tell right now, but that could change.
It could change. Is it like still the first floor?
Yes, it is still the first floor.
Okay. Well, I guess just to try it, let's try swinging a chair at a window.
You're going to use one action to attempt to break the window?
Yeah.
Feel free to make an strength check to attempt an attack roll, improvised weapon. You attempt to swing the chair at the window as it seems to bounce off the window. You swing into it, it bounces off the window, vibrates a little bit, as it appears to suffer no major damage.
Rude.
You have
Okay.
3 actions remaining.
So it's like a dining room. What other type of
dining
like
room,
furniture is in here other than like the
there is
table and chairs?
There's a long table with chairs, there's cloths, there is a kind of what you can imagine a pantry of sorts, as there is a few doorways in the room. 2. Would you like to check any of them? I will say this doesn't count as an action to check it.
Okay, yeah, I'll check them.
Okay. You check one of them, you see that it is a pantry. You check another one, it appears to lead into a sort of closet with clothes hanging on it.
Okay.
Of course, there is things like china cabinets in the room as well, for your curiosity.
Okay. Okay, he's gonna... Would it be like one action to like drag a china cabinet to the door?
It will be one action to attempt to drag a china cabinet to the door.
Okay, we'll give it a shot.
Okay, feel free to give me a strength check. Would you like to use rage?
Yeah, may as well. Whoopsies.
Desperation
not
rage.
managed. Yeah.
Desperation.
Desperation.
Wow. Ping.
I'll say that's enough. You managed to drag a cabinet over in front of the door. A very solid cabinet with
Okay.
some dishes in it. That will be 1 preparation to block off the area and 2 actions left.
Okay. He's gonna... Okay, really quick with the doors. He's gonna like close the pantry door after he checked it. The closet door with the clothes, he's gonna like kind of like mess up the clothes inside of it.
Okay.
And leave that door slightly ajar.
Alright.
And then you say we get a number of actions and then we hide, or is it hiding?
You
is
get
one of
never
the
actions and then your hide is last.
Okay.
So you have 2 actions left and then you get a hide.
He's gonna mess up the skeleton furthest from the door that Mara's gonna come from. Like, kind of like mess with the cloth that's over it. Just to kind of like make it look like, maybe he's pretending to be under this. He's pretending to be a skeleton.
Okay.
Kind of.
You want to you want to make this like appear as if someone's under this. I'll say that's everything up to that point was an action then.
Alright.
So you have one action remaining. There is also I will say there's probably a chimney in the room too.
There's a chimney? How big's the chimney?
Would you like to take a look at the chimney?
Yeah, let's peek at the chimney.
I'll say that's your one free action in between for this. You
I
take
can't-
a look. Yeah.
I was about to say I can't wait for an evil person to just spring out of the chimney.
Chimney,
I
which
can't
is
wait
even
for
going to be
Ulrich
even
to-
weirder
witch.
about you.
The
Yeah,
witch just
I can't wait
runs
for
out.
you to be the chimney witch.
What's Ulrich all along?
Ulrich, you take a look up the chimney. The chimney appears to be quite narrow. However, you feel if you put in your strength behind it and like budge yourself against the walls, you can probably like attempt to shimmy up it and climb up it. It will require a strength check to attempt to hold
Climb.
yourself in position. To climb and attempt
Oh
to
my
hold yourself.
god. Well, the chimneys are a theme for him now. He's obligated.
I'll say if you're climbing it, it's an athletics check.
Wonderful. Too bad I'm out of rage. Do I have that marked off yet?
You still have Bardic?
Nope.
I do not
used-
still
That's why I
Bardic.
was asking you if I could still be heard.
Unfortunately not.
Turn off rage real quick.
It's one of those fun ones where I don't actually have to know where a person is. They just have to be able to hear
They
me.
just have to hear you, yeah.
Is there a chimney in the bathroom? Just yell it into the chimney and Ulrich will hear you anywhere. No.
There might be a chimney in the bathroom.
I don't believe in the chimney bathroom.
That's a shame. You did see a chimney in the bathroom before.
I'd be surprised if there were
Oh.
chimneys in the bathroom.
You guys literally walked into the master bathroom on the third floor with a chimney in
I
it.
expect there to be like hearths and fireplaces, but not chimneys.
It's equivalent.
What's a fireplace without a chimney?
Well, the chimney's not in the bathroom now, is it? It's on the roof.
Okay.
I mean, there's like the shaft going up.
Oh, it was so nearly better.
I will say that you aren't Ulrich. Here's my proposition to you. You will have to give me something in return that I will determine later.
Okay.
But here's my proposition
A
for
body
you.
part.
You attempt to shuffle up this chimney, right?
Uh-huh.
You're like trying to press your elbows against it. As you're like sliding down, the soot is keeping you, making it slippery. As you're sliding down, you see a very elongated clay hand reach down towards you. I will let you know right now, without any words needing to be said in between you and it, you will give up something to it in return. For attempted help. You will get one more roll.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can abandon this and attempt to hide somewhere else.
No, he will reach up. He will try to take the hand.
Go ahead and give me one more roll. The hand, you take the hand, and the hand pulls you up as you disappear up the chimney. Go ahead, and I say zombies' preparations are very inadequate, so I won't give an advantage. Will you attempt to roll the stealth check? You're very out in the open, so I'm not sure it'll work out very well, zombie.
Maybe persuasion instead.
Look in the mirror, zombie. Persuade yourself. Are you able to hide somewhere?
I'll roll with disadvantage.
That's fair. A 9. Okay. Ulrich, go ahead and roll me with advantage stealth check.
Uh, oh. Heartbreaking.
Ooh. All the preparations were in place. However, I'm going to. This may or may not help, depending. I'm going to give you a +5 bonus for total cover in this instance. That is all I will give you
Yeah.
for the help you received.
No, it's good. It's
It
appreciated.
may save you. She may roll higher. We will determine. Let us start.
She can roll a 8, you know?
He left a lot of stuff to be distracted by in that room. Yeah.
We did leave a lot of stuff to be distracted by. Okay. Holding your breath, you hear the impending doom outside. The thumping of metal can be heard through the walls. With a clatter of plates, the boots stop a few doors down as you hear the jangling of a doorknob. A loud pounding can be heard bashing against the door as the splintering of wood follows. After a few minutes, with the sounds of rummaging, you hear the knight exit the room as she moves on to the next one. A repeat of what happened previously occurs, as this time, instead of splintering, a metallic clanging can be heard. And as something was struck hard against stone, it continues a few times as the figure grows tired. Finally approaching your room, you hear the metal gauntlets of the blood-crazy knight as she lifts up the axe. We're going to start with Ulrich's room. She's going to attempt to make an attack against the door with the cabinet in front of it. Wow, that's a nat 20.
Oh, like, this really is a survivor horror stalker occurrence.
She does fucking 17 damage to the door. You hear a splintering of wood once again as the door strikes against something hard. I'm going to make her make one more attack roll against the china, the cabinet, to see if she can break through it. How much damage? Ooh, that's maxed.
Scary.
Damn.
Once more, the metallic striking can be heard singing through the air as it takes another swing. You swear you can almost hear the vicious croaking of the toads on the other side of the door, followed by screaming. Chills run down your spine from this strained voice.
This is very similar to what happened with Brennan.
Not quite. No. You see before you the wood of the door bulging inwards. Something heavy strikes against it as the surface splits. Taking a swing, the middle of the door collapses. And you see the toad's wide open eyes staring in from behind the wood. Well, since you're hidden, not quite for you. Yanking the axe out, the metal gauntlet of the knight reaches in as she breaks off a portion of the wood, the china cabinet tipping over, plates shattering. She is going to attempt to make one perception check to see where you are. How lucky do you feel?
I'm lucky.
You feel lucky.
I feel lucky.
Her bloodied face pushes up directly against the hole as she takes a sweeping look over the room. However, she doesn't seem to notice you. She looks dissatisfied. Busting down the remainder of the door, the knight sticks her foot through as she steps directly into the room. With the demonic axe in both hands, she begins searching around it. The metal greaves clank with a heavy thud as you hear the cabinet shattering beneath the axe's cleaving blade. A harsh creaking can be heard alongside the splintering wood as the knight wrenches the axe out. You hear what sounds like a rustling cloth, and then the shattering of bones and splintering of a chair against the floor as it seems to be thrown with a force stronger than anything you've heard before. The bones rattle, clattering, shattering as they kind of bounce and scatter around. You hear a rustling of a door as it is pulled open and then nearly ripped off its hinges, as things from inside the pantry tip over and break against the floor. However, after a few minutes of strolling the room, the night seems to grow quiet as she suddenly stops. The boots clink once more as she seems to turn around. However, before she does, she takes one quick glance over the room to where you are hiding. You might not be able to see this, but an indiscernible look covers her face as you hear her start approaching. Reaching out towards you, the gauntleted hand hesitates for a moment before yanking back the door of the closet with a quick motion. She seems displeased once more. She lets out an irritated Taking a step back, the knight scans the room once more before leaving. The metal plates clink against each other as they grow distant in the hall. At the end of the corridor, a large breaking can be heard as she disappears from earshot. And as your nerves begin to relax, the tension from your shoulders fleeting, exhaustion wears you down. You feel an indiscernible tiredness as your eyes can no longer stay open, and you fall into a deep sleep. As Ulrich, you manage to successfully escape from the dream without being killed.
Yay!
However, Brian,
Brian. Poor Brian.
you see before you the door bulging inwards. Something heavy strikes against the surface, splinters. And as you see the toad's wide open eyes, because most of the other doors were blocked, she got tired of trying the doorknob.
Okay.
Yanking out the axe, the metal gauntlet of the knight reaches in and she breaks off a portion of the wood. Her bloody face pushes directly up against the hole as she takes a sweeping look over the room before landing on you. A wide smile spreads across her face as her eyes darken. Ah, I found you. Busting down the remainder of the door, the knight sticks her foot right through as she steps in. With the demonic axe in both hands, she approaches you. Thought you could run away, didn't you? Brian, as you're looking up at this knight, as she begins...
very fast.
You run very fast.
I didn't run very fast.
Oh, I see. I guess not. As you see her swinging
Sorry to hear
towards
about
you.
your dad. Oh, my last words.
I'm gonna just post an image real quick.
Your vision fills with red as her red hair floods over you. And the mist floods into the room, and the last thing you think of before your life fades before you is that Brennan? As you die.
Oh shit.
Brian? I would like you to increase your stress score by 1.
Oh, just one.
So
Up to, what is it, 3 now?
Especially, doesn't that
4.
make it 4? You're 1 away from
4.
like death, isn't it?
Don't you get one removed from sleeping?
If you sleep
Yeah.
without doing anything.
He had a bad dream. This is not.
That's true.
So I noticed that the stress score only goes up to 5.
If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, 5
Yeah,
is like
and Zombie
death,
has
or
been-
6 is death.
Zombie has been arbitrarily raising his.
I don't remember what the third
not
stress score was
arbitrary.
from. What was the third
Do
stress score from? I remember
do
what the
it.
first 2 were.
When the
Did it
person
earlier in the
recognized him.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a stress score?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah,
And,
no.
Understood.
He had an internal monologue of this person didn't like sit there and go, who? I must be imagining things. It's not possible for someone to actually recognize me.
Or a little thing here doesn't actually tell us what happens when we reach stress 5.
But I do.
No,
it doesn't.
Think,
Don't reach stress 5.
I do. Think,
Great.
Doesn't the DM have to sign off on it?
It comes pre-signed. This game.
Okay.
He agreed by not interfering when I did it.
I didn't
I
know
don't
you
think
did it.
noticed.
I didn't notice. I would say that wouldn't have been a stress score, but if you really want to stress yourself out with that one,
If you want to kill Brian,
He won't die from stress yet.
you're one
He's
off.
young. His heart is strong.
I think he's technically 2 off. I think it's like,
There's a penalty for 5, so clearly 5 is not death.
yeah.
You see,
I was about to say it's like
when you reach
exhaustion or
when
it's
you
like
reach
6, I think.
stress 5, the more days you go at stress 5, the more years of life you lose.
Yeah. Okay.
Brian is not a stranger to stress.
We are going to do this real quick.
Yeah, he is a writer. That makes sense.
None of you
Also,
got captured by her beforehand. You actually freaking lasted through the obstacles quite well. I'm surprised.
I
There was
know.
a lot of you would have lost a lot of movement if you failed some of those. One of those made you go prone.
Oh no.
That was a chandelier. You would have failed that if you didn't have
Thank you
that
for
danger
the
sense.
inspiration.
Down the chandelier.
Where is it? It's this
The
one.
chandelier.
Okay.
In pieces.
We're gonna start with the order that we were going with, of course. So Ulrich. As we're getting this shit off, we're going back here. You know what? Let's do this one for fun's sake. Ulrich. As you find yourself waking up, you find yourself seated on around a dinner table. As we are just going to go ahead and do this one just in case. You find yourself seated around a dinner table. As there appears to be illusionary ghosts. Illusionary is a very interesting word. There appears to be spirits of dead noblemen surrounding you at the table, kind of talking and having a banquet amongst themselves. As one of them goes, "You should have seen that, right?" As one of them looks at you, right next to you. Offering you a chipped and broken cup with some sort of water in it. Care for some tea?
I think he survived it, but that was pretty heart pounding. So I think he just kind of shakily goes to accept the tea.
It was quite some trouble you were in, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We must really do this some other time. Under better circumstances. Yes, quite agree. Uh-huh.
looks around. Wow, there's a lot of you here.
Yes, there is. Appears so. After all, we are dinner guests, are we not? Here for the banquet.
You actually got a banquet.
Yes. It's so good to see you come around and join us. After all, it would be quite a shame if... And as you hear them say that, you hear a knocking, a dun-dun-dun, against the door to the dining room table. As everyone turns around, and there is a stillness in the air. She's here! She's here! Everyone looks amongst themselves as the chairs start tipping and the ghosts start vanishing. The ones across you tip the chair and vanishes. Run! Everyone must run! She'll catch you! The ghost next to you drops the teacup if you hadn't taken it, looks at you and goes, "You heard them! Run, men! Run for your life before she catches you! You must
have to tell
not
him
let her
twice.
get you!" As he seems to slip something into your hand quickly before taking off and disappearing. You are left in a room alone with toppled chairs.
Run, man, run!
Yeah, you don't have to tell him twice.
Where are you going, Ulrich?
Oh God.
It was the
different
door
door.
across from you. Would you like to take the north or south door?
Oh God. Oh, I have a map. Oh, moves my thing. I was just theater of the minding it. Okay.
It should be a
Uh,
map you recognize.
God. A brain go burr. Let's go you said it's the door in front of me, so
It's a door
this
across
one?
from you. Yeah, that one.
That's
It's
So
what's
it's your
almost-
knocking.
north or south if you don't want to go through there.
It's almost fitting how this all worked out as the map is gone again for us. Getting replaced.
I want to go down here. Whee!
You go down there? Okay. You open the doors, you escape.
Dun dun dun. Close the door behind you. Dun dun dun.
Would you like me to move you on to the next room?
He's gonna wait a second. He's gonna like listen to hear for them like entering this room.
You hear. Go on and give me a perception check.
Perception.
You don't know. You
Uh.
wait to listen, but you don't know what's happening in the other room.
God. I think he's like. I think like before he stopped to listen, he like pressed against this door, like ready to jump out of it if at any moment. He's gonna kind of like glance at what was left in his hand by the ghost.
You see, in your hand is a carved bullet
No.
that says Dead Ringer on it. If you kind of turn it around. This is the same model of the bullets that you have for the gun, but it appears different some way, somehow.
Well, he
As
doesn't have
this
time to
is-
think about that.
Yeah.
Stick it in his pocket.
I'll get you that later when you wish to identify it at some point in the future.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know, so it's pretty much he waits like as long as his nerves let him before he's gonna try and quietly go through this door.
Okay, you quietly go through that door.
Just,
I'm gonna say that one was closed.
just keep making our way downtown quietly, anxiously,
That one's-
upsettingly alone.
I gotta take a look at something real quick. Excuse me, pardon me. Would that be a dick move? That would be funny though. How far are you away from this thing? I'm gonna make a measurement real quick. Oh, it was. Cool. I'm going to say, as you're making your way down there, I'm going to stop you right here, as I'm going to put a pause to you real quick, as we're going
Okay.
to where Brian ended up.
He's in a bathtub. Missing a
Alright.
kidney.
You wake up. You wake up drenched in sweat in a bathtub facing a mirror. At the corner of your eyes, you see on the edge of the mirror, in thin red blood, the words Bloody Mara. You feel as if you have been drowned. The fireplace is going beside you, offering whatever bit of warmth there is in this still manor house. As Zombie, do you have any? Oh, Zombie's muted. Zombie?
Is he double muted?
No.
Is he double muted? Okay. I imagine you're trying not to look into the mirror any further.
Wanna- Go back to sleep in the tub.
I see.
Close their eyes, we stop perceiving the horror movie. A realistic depiction of me in a horror situation.
Okay. You go back to sleep in the tub. As, in a room very close by you, appears waking up from a very, very, very bad dream. Cloud, what would you say your biggest fear is right now? I don't know if Devin's here.
Man,
Devin, are you muted?
biggest fear right now?
Right now, what would your biggest fear be if you were shoved into a pit with it?
Into a pit with what? I'm sorry, I missed that.
What is your biggest fear? What would you say? What would be the worst thing you could imagine happening to yourself if you were put into a box?
Into a box? Oh god, I don't know. Like a bajillion ants. Ants are weird, but also snakes. Snakes are pretty bad. Being eaten alive by 1,000 tiny snakes.
Alright. You feel as if you have suffered an entire night of being allied by 1,000 tiny snakes, as you aren't sure whether the cat in the box is alive or dead until you open your eyes. And you find yourself on a bed with a very itchy feeling, as I need you to give yourself 1 stress score.
I
Oh my
am the
goodness, no.
Schrodinger's cat.
I am, oh my goodness, just call me Schrodinger.
Wait, is that the concept for a reborn tabaxi?
What? What?
No, hold on.
For we are
You might be cooking with that one. Let me go alchemist, tabaxi.
As
Excellent.
we are going to go, also while you are getting up, having your reactions to what is happening to you. We're up here. Hold up, one moment. As waking up against the cold, hard floor. A very damp floor. Brendan, you find yourself staring at a circle. You were curled up into a ball. What would you say would be the worst thing that could happen to you if you're put into a, you know what, go ahead and tell me what you think that is. After you're dragged away into darkness.
Wakes up in the cave. But it's not just her. Dangling somehow in the air are the eyeless corpses of Karen and her mother.
Okay. You spent an entire night in this cave. It was an entire cavern without light. However, you had dark vision.
There was like a single light that she had, and all she could see is floating, asking, "Why didn't you save us? Why did you kill us?"
What's one
Eyeless.
up this?
With the with the blood running, bloody tears type thing.
Yeah. Let's run this one step higher. This was a cavern network. You were allowed to escape from here if you could find the exit. The unfortunate thing is that you didn't find the exit, and every time you tried, you would eventually come back to this room, or find another room with more people, or the same people. Those asking the questions of why didn't you save us? As you eventually wake up
why did you kill me? From her mother.
Yeah. As you eventually wake up in a chamber, staring at a circle with armor in the middle of it. As I need you to increase your stress score by 1.
Okay.
You two would have awoken probably a little bit before Brian and Ulrich would have. So you are free to have a little bit of time to try to figure out your surroundings.
Good thing we went and checked all of these places. Totally know. Should have told I
Am I
don't know
being
if
an
Cloud
idiot?
actually entered this room.
Do I
Where's all the
recognize...
Where's all the stress stuff? Why am I?
Should be at the
Do I
top of your
recognize
sheet,
the armor?
Should say fear and stress.
just below resources.
Hmm.
Let's
Do
see.
I recognize the armor?
You do... I believe you were in here, weren't you?
No.
You do not recognize the armor, actually.
No, you
Jesus
were. I thought you
Christ.
were in here.
No,
No,
she was
she
knocked
was-
out, remember?
Oh,
We knocked her
yes,
out
yes,
because she
yes.
attacked us.
I thought
Actually,
she
no,
was in here.
we left her on. We knocked her out on
She
the
was-
stairs.
she was
so
knocked
she
out.
didn't
We
get
knocked-
upstairs.
She didn't go
Yeah.
up there. You guys got back after
She
investigating. She woke up.
She will
I
put
had
her
to
he-
knock her ass out.
put
You
her
would've
hand on the
described-
armor.
Being
We would have
out.
described it to her, though. She would have heard the description.
Okay,
I don't-
take it a step back. What snack?
She's gonna stick her hand on the armor.
You stick your hand on the armor. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Chris.
Oh,
Mm,
good.
mm.
Wise she is not.
But when you stick your hand on the armor, you will ignore any warning signs that the others might have gotten. As you don't even really recognize the circle and will care about it, you seek protection. You put your hand on the armor. There's one thing a thought that runs through your mind. As you hear, somewhere in the back of your mind, not in the pit of your stomach, just a few words, one sentence really. It's just right. Like it was made for me.
Valkyrie is an asshole. Ghost is here, might as well suit up. Kill it! And she
What
will
do you say?
begin
Can you repeat that?
I'm gonna be kicking ghost ass, I might as well do it in style. But she will step into the circle and begin donning the armor.
Oh, great. I can't wait for us to look over and just scream, being like, oh, god damn it.
Oh my god.
Alright. Well, you
Possession, let's
have
go.
obtained Crimson Ring Mail, as I will add that to your inventory, Brennan.
Another cursed thing. You know, I don't have it. I don't. It doesn't look like I have the stress stuff in here, unless I am just the
Should be
blindest
there.
man ever.
I'm pretty sure I put on everyone's.
Switch your views, maybe.
Is it not in here? Did I miss you somehow?
You
Oh.
might have missed me.
That's
think
fine. I
I-
can just grab it for someone else and I'll do
Oh.
it on yours later.
It's a good thing
Slap
Cloud is
on.
the least stressed person.
I am so confused.
So
Why am I
confused.
alive?
I guess I don't have fear stress on you. That's weird.
Why am I
Yeah,
alive?
That's not set. It is set to self. I'll just unset that from self and I'll drag it onto you.
I ran out of my other 8 lives long ago.
Maybe I miscounted at some point. I don't know. Okay, let's get
Right.
out of bed.
Brendan
Uh,
has successfully donned the armor. Cloud is getting out of bed.
Does she recognize after putting it on who this probably was for?
Give me an. I don't know if you have enough information to make that connection, actually. I don't think you were given enough information.
Okay. Well, Ghosty, whoever's armor you were, guide me. And she will make her way down the stairs.
Okay.
What?
You're making your way down the stairs. You get to the eventual base of the tower. Real
What?
quick, just gonna put it in there. So you do recognize this place.
Wow, this is where I got my ass kicked.
Like halfway down, you would be like, "Ha!"
Is there
what
anything under the
is-
bed?
Take a look under the bed. There isn't really anything under the bed.
Centipede.
Oh, that's good.
Do I notice anything down here?
You don't notice anything down. What do you mean down here exactly, by the way?
Like, as I'm walking by, anything new?
There doesn't appear to be anything new. Are you just taking a walk through, not really like searching the area?
She'll keep an eye out to see if there's signs that others have been looking for.
You don't see any signs of anyone looking for you. Not yet.
Neat.
You
Alright.
get kind of feeling in the back of your mind. No one has searched for me. Not a single person has searched for me.
Hello?
Grandpa?
What is Cloud's exiting the room?
I'm just looking back. Is this a room that we had already searched, or is this a new room that has just appeared?
You
Same.
take a look through, you recognize the hallway of the second floor.
Okay.
As you are
This was
looking
the-
there, you do notice that the I don't even need to draw an arrow. You do notice that this this up here, the door to it is ajar. Most of the other doors in here, I believe, should be closed at this point.
That's weird.
If they're not, I will make sure.
Hello?
You take a look in. You see Brian as he is in a tub. I will actually finish long resting you guys again, by the way, because that all happened in the dream. You have taken your damage in the dream.
Woo!
You would have died earlier if you hit 0 HP.
Oh, you die in the dream.
Oh, no.
You die for real. Then who is
Just,
Brian?
Hello?
Grandpa, I'm down in the foyer.
What?
I'm down in the foyer.
I was about to say, I don't think he could hear you from there.
He could not. I'm gonna put Brennan on stop real quick, as we're just gonna look at Cloud and Brian's situation for a moment
He
before I
probably
determine anything.
could hear yelling, but I doubt he would hear anything other than just.
You guys would hear yelling the moment like Brennan started walking out of the gallery, but I'm putting that hold for a quick
That's
moment.
fine, totally.
Mr. Brian, why are you in a tub? Hello?
Zombie?
See you
You-
alive.
Zombie, you are muted.
He said
Type
something in the chat.
ugh.
Oh, did he? Ugh. Oh, I see. He appears to be alive, but not doing very good at all. He looks very pale. Like he is incredibly dehydrated. Ironic considering the room he's in. What would you like to do, Cloud?
Do you know where everyone else is? Are we dead? Did you die? I'm so confused. Can you hear me? I hope I'm not a ghost. Maybe I am a ghost.
You don't appear to be a ghost looking at yourself. You are still corporeal.
But do ghosts know that they're ghosts? I've heard of some ghosts not knowing that they were ghosts.
Have you tried phasing through the floor or ceiling yet? Maybe the walls?
What a great point. We'll step over to this divider thing. We'll try and walk through it.
You attempt to walk through the divider as you slam the entire divider down onto the ground. and walk through it, but not in the intended way that I imagine you were trying.
Hmm. Maybe I am more like a poltergeist.
Would you like to attempt to retrieve Brian?
I mean, yeah, let's get you out of the tub. This is not the time for that.
You managed to
Don't think.
successfully pick up Brian, which can only lead to two realities. One, you both are ghosts, and you are able to touch each other because you are on the same plane. Two, neither of you are ghosts, and you are both alive. I will leave the discretion up to you.
Hmm. Well, let's go find everyone else.
Alright. Assuming Brian doesn't...
Can I have Brennan going to open the door right as Ulrich is walking through? So back turned.
I'll say you get, like... Sure, yeah, that works. We'll get them, we'll say that they start getting to, the stairs of the area. So we'll put them... Whoops, that's wrong. One moment.
I want a certain thing to happen when he gets through the door.
Give me a moment. You guys will be about right there, I'd say. Probably a little bit closer, honestly. At this point. Alright.
The stairs are in the same room as Brendan.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. They're not... Yeah. I always forget that.
You keep thinking of the basement. They can
No,
be on
I'm
top
not
of the
thinking they're
stairs.
in the basement.
They're in the
But
No,
I'm
I
thinking-
meant the stairs up
Okay.
there as the basement.
Okay. We will get everyone focused on Ulrich. Alright. So here's the fun thing, real quick, Sid. As everyone is getting this, Brendan, you're starting to open the door. What, okay, real quick, before we continue, actually, what is Boris and Karen's thing
How
that they're
long
doing?
has time passed?
Probably less than a minute during all this.
Boris is actually just pulling out, just using the tarot cards, and has probably covered Karen with an extra fur blanket.
What are you pulling tarot cards out?
No.
This is
Would you like to draw?
This is what he does on his rest now.
Roll me a D100.
He doesn't know if it still has magic, but you'll trust him.
I assume Taroka.
Choroka, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
What the
my
fuck
God.
is with this? Why do you keep hitting the percentile?
Because
It's so
I'm
high.
me.
It's so high. I have to go dig for those now. Hold up.
Because it's me.
meant to
and
be,
Boris.
Boris.
Is, yeah.
Where are they?
Boris'
Hold up.
thing.
Where's the
D&D said
percentile?
yes, it will make sense.
Like I will train to have the ability to read tarot cards, like whatever that
Tarot
means.
cards?
Where
Where did I even put that?
Assuming this is is this on the cusp of the end of the rest, or
Yeah, this would be probably on the cusp of the end of the rest.
But this is like
Okay.
3 or 4, yeah.
so? Karen might not be awake yet.
No, you're not. That's why he's
don't.
covered you with an
Taroka
extra
deck.
with an
Alright.
extra layer.
Don't just say you're not.
Players. Who have we done? We've done you. We've done you. Yeah, I'll do this one.
Well, especially since 2 people disappeared, he's like, I might as well.
Boris. You cover Karen with the furs as you start pulling from the Taroka deck. As you do, who are you thinking of first off?
Specifically, it's Ulrich right now, and then Brian because those are the ones missing.
Which is the first one?
Ulrich because he's the first person I realized was.
Okay, I'll give you the first card only, okay?
That's fine.
You think of Ulrich as you're pulling out the Taroka deck, and you get the Enchanter card. It represents inner turmoil that comes from confusion, fear, of failure, or false information. And as you're doing this, you see the door open before you. As Brennan, you open the door as you're calling out. You
Grandpa?
see for a moment Grandpa off to the side as you're saying it. Before you get a chance to like fully step through the door, all
Oh
of you
my
start
goodness.
seeing each other. Ulrich,
Me.
I cannot believe I actually got a chance to even have one of you activate this.
Oh my god,
This
no.
is a miracle for
The
me.
trap card.
The trap card.
Well,
trap
would
is
you look
trap
at the
card.
title I'm looking at right now?
Oh my
Ulrich,
goodness.
Scrap Iron Scarecrow.
what's your passive perception right now? Taking in. That's a very bad
Me.
passive perception. Yeah, what is your
16.
passive? No, Ulrich only.
Oh.
I have no stress.
No stress.
No stress to hold me down.
We are going to get that stealth score off as well as heroism at this
Oh,
point.
sorry, Ulrich's the least stressed person.
Well,
Actually,
you know what?
I'm gonna
Holy
also
shit.
become the resource after this. It's like 15, isn't it, for passive?
It's only Ulrich.
No, I was saying, isn't that his?
No.
13.
13?
Yeah, Ulrich's is 13.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay,
my
for some
passive
reason I
perception.
thought-
Holy shit, you managed to have the exact perception score needed to notice this. Ulrich, as you're kind of walking through this room, heading towards you, you hear the sounds, Grandpa in the other room. As your shoulders maybe loosen or tighten, who knows with how this is going right now. You hear in the corner of the room, up here,
No.
where the owlbear statue is, a mechanical whirling as it begins coming to life. You have an action. What would you like to do in response to that?
I think he says this kind of loudly, but it's just kind of the like, oh, come on! And he just like blasts through the door. It's like,
Alright, it will make the attack roll. I'm going to make it do it with disadvantage
I
because of
don't-
the situation.
Is
I
it to
don't
like run
believe-
through and hopefully shut the door behind you?
yeah, the hopeful maneuver.
You didn't
Would you like to
actually
shut it behind
pass
you?
Time, by the
Yeah.
way. So there are.
I have not.
There are
hold
effects
up, I
still
will.
on us. Yeah.
There we go. I'm going to add the counter to tracker real quick.
Also,
As yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
to
What? Sorry?
remove, is it okay if I remove the stress score now? Or wait.
have to spend, like, a
No,
day
you have to
resting.
spend an entire day doing nothing but resting.
Oh, a day. Sorry, I thought it was a rest. My fault.
Nope.
Yeah,
Uh,
It's
otherwise
a dick.
Brennan would not be a sphere.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna make this do a disadvantage. Good. You close the door behind you.
Yeah.
You hear the whirling, and then stomp, stomp, stomp. All of you kind of hear this turning towards it. I imagine if you do. Behind you, as you see Ulrich bolt out the door, slam the door behind him, and then get. I'm gonna say he manages to stand his ground for this one, as you hear splintering of wood and slamming behind him as his house shakes, as there is a claw currently like a few inches away from his head, poking out the door.
Freddy
Much-
Fazbear.
Like
Brennan.
the length of the claws is further than where your nose would be.
Oh gosh. Oh
And then
god! And he sees Brennan coming towards him, and he's like, "Oh Jesus!" and like bonks against this door. He's stressed
The door that's
out.
apparently
So-
open.
So, you know what's great?
Is
You
it
see a woman,
Yeah.
red-headed woman with an axe in red armor.
Yes, that's why he got scared of you. So he was like,
Oh no,
Like,
Mara's a fox now.
Ah, no! Oh no. Brennan, what are you wearing?
All of this and Morris is just looking over Karen. Sure, she's still.
I think
I-
Karen's definitely woken up at this point.
Yeah, no,
to
she's.
He's
she's-
like,
all of
please
that.
don't.
I am taking whatever advantage I can get for when we have to kick.
You're
with-
wearing the super cursed armor. Why?
What do you mean it's super cursed?
I imagine
Karen.
the doors cracked open. We hear this whole thing, and we Karen are just looking at each other like,
Karen, feel free to add one more to your resource of disappointment in
If
Brennan.
we're gonna
Wait, hold.
I'm holding.
Hold. Just hold on.
if we're going to be fighting,
That was almost
I-
an at 20.
I will.
If we're going to be fighting Mara and Drog, we need every advantage we can get.
Karen is going to stand up.
Is the thing still trying to bust through the door?
No, it stopped moving.
Okay, neat. She turns away from the door.
She's going to stand up, and
Oh my goodness.
I would recommend you just go back to sleep.
she is not.
My freaking mouse.
Okay.
I
That was
presume
just
we're
my
getting to the end of the rest anyway.
You are pretty much at the end of the rest. You see, you see a Brian on the stairs, being carried to the Cloud. Brian not looking so well at all, covered in sweat. Cloud appears to be itchy. Brennan wearing red chain armor. Ulrich pressed up against the door with a look of terror on his face, and a pair of giant-ass claws poking through the door behind Brennan.
You do recognize the armor, by the way.
Yeah,
You do recognize the armor.
let the DM do the
Sorry.
description. She's going to walk forward, and she's going to cast Mage Hand behind Brennan and pull her hair.
Why would this armor be super cursed?
Because it was in the middle of a giant smudged magic circle. Ulrich is like rubbing his face. He
Giant-
looks so
Also-
tired.
Also, not to be mean, everything in this place is cursed.
A giant smudge magic circle that was apparently some kind of ward. And you just took that item out of the ward.
Hmm. Who did it belong to?
Mara.
Didn't she have like red hair?
Yes.
Ah.
Or do you have a sense of shell shock at this situation now that it's starting to just slowly dawn on you after waking up?
Yeah.
Apparently it's way too
Well-
fucking dark so we can't even see.
I mean, if so, did like you get when you got yoinked? Did you have a spooky dream as well?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Let's see.
Wait. Other people got yoinked? What?
Boop, boop, boop. I'm gonna say Arthur comes out.
I
Holding
mean,
a
I'm assuming they got
torch.
yoinked while they were asleep because they're not with you guys.
Yeah,
It's easy.
probably. Just Ulrich pulls up the baton on the 1,000-yard stare.
Ah!
Are you okay?
I
man!
said he was coming out. I said he was coming out. I just need to get the torch effect on for him to make this simple.
Are you okay, Ulrich?
Is
Yeah.
everyone all right? I heard us. Well, I think everyone here heard. Slamming. Oh, okay. Yes. I guess that's what the slamming is over there. Thank God all of you are safe. All of you are safe, right?
Yes.
Ulrich puts up a hand that like covers Brennan in his periphery vision. He's like,
Or just
please
come
don't
over
bring that
here.
armor
Just
armor
come
near me,
towards
please.
Safe is debatable.
Alright.
Just
I mean,
gonna...
If anything, if we want to, like, do the thing with Mara, we have something of hers now.
That's not a smart idea.
I
Okay,
don't-
so to get you caught up real quick, we're gonna get some weed. Well, some flowers. Are they weed or flowers?
We're gonna get some weed. It was belladonna.
Yeah. Oh, it's a flower. You're right.
It's a berry.
Oh,
But,
should know that. wait, Belladonna's a berry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I have to do the joke. Belladonna, the porn star?
Oh God.
do
Why?
you have you never had a
joke in
tomato,
my head.
Boris?
Yeah, I've had tomatoes.
Tomatoes, eggplants, they're belladonnas.
Oh, well, good to know. Okay, well-
They're nightshades. They're not belladonna.
Difference, actually. Yes.
There is a
Slight
heavy
difference.
There is a heavy
they're-
difference.
They are related.
Alright, well, as I was saying, we'll gotta grab one of those, go save the kids, and then get out of here as fast as possible.
We know how to
Cool.
open the door.
I got it. I think.
The house will attack us.
Well, did anything else happen?
Apparently we're on the 11th hour, and if we get to the 12th, then the house is gonna wake up and attack us or some stuff.
Well, the house will wake up and attack us pretty much anyways once we get the kids.
I think both of those events at this point could trigger at any point. So it's really we're on the 11th hour until either we wait long enough or until we decide to mess with it and move the time forward.
There's no sense in dawdling.
But
We have everyone again.
do we not want to take care of the other ghosties before we try and go through that door?
I'd rather us get out of here.
I don't think we can. Like, I mean,
If the ghosts
Ulrich
come
will
up
shrug.
to...
He'll go over and he'll like pull on the door.
Ulrich, you go to pull on the door,
I'm just gonna close the door for us. There we go.
as it appears to be stuck. And with that said, I think that might be where we're ending it.
And she's gonna walk over to Alan and pull off one of the Greek gauntlets.
I'm not going to let you do that.
Yeah,
you can
no.
do that next time.
I got to play for 5 minutes. Hell yeah.
Also, I don't think we're gonna summon her. There's no reason for us to like talk to her.
I don't want to talk to her.
Exactly.
I kind
Not
of do.
after you didn't. I think there's like two people in here that definitely don't want to talk to her because they've had enough.
Shade doesn't want to talk to her. Karen
Boris
probably
doesn't
doesn't
either.
want to talk to her, based on other people's perceived notions of who Mara is.
Exactly. Of course,
Brennan
for the same reason.
wants to find out why her armor's up in the castle tower.
I feel like other things take precedence. I will be real.
I was about to say, when the person that does the seance goes no, you're probably not gonna. I don't think he wants to.
Anyway.
Either.
I said next time. We'll see what happens next time.
Fucking anxiety. Straight up stalker chase.
You
That was
Look, I
really
made a
good.
poll. People answered the poll. I knew what I had to do.
Oh, definitely.
I think I know what this session's gonna be called.
Oh, it's called Bloodbath, by the way.
Okay.
fucking.
Gotcha.
You know what my favorite.
That's what
thing
I've been
about-
holding on to for the past 2 weeks.
That's fair.
Makes sense.
You know what my favorite thing about this is?
What?
You put Brennan next to the thing you knew she would take.
Of course, that's why I did it.
All according to Cake.
According to Cake.
I went, what's the funniest room I could put anyone in? Yeah, that works.
Did you?
Why haven't I put you in?
Just real quick before I hop up, did you on purpose put Brian in the tub, or was it because I said?
Yes,
Brian
I was
in the
always
tub?
on purpose.
Oh, we just
Yeah.
same minds.
Ulrich and Brian was always the plan. To Brennan and Cloud were the, let's figure out what just sounds funny in the moment.
I mean, that makes sense when you also asked him, "Hey, what's your fear?"
Okay then.
And that stress score was if you failed, yeah. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yep, we are going to head out.
Woo.
We'll
5 minutes.
see you with more Dragonfall. And presumably everybody should have more than 5 minutes of gameplay.
I don't know, I like
Um,
my couple of minutes. Like I said, I had snacks and just
Hey,
watched.
we had a while. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Whether it's Dragonfall or Ravenloft. Have a wonderful
Bye-bye.
whenever you're watching this. Bye bye.
No.
Bye.